Evening, folks. Welcome to Shut Your Mouth Podcast. I'm Monkeywool, and today we got Muta, we got Goku Bob, WSS, Asthma, aka Mini Me, and we're all gonna chat about random stuff today. It's all gonna be fun.
First
And if
off,
anybody doesn't know, I am actually English, just so you know.
couldn't tell. The way you talk,
Yeah.
you sound like a Texan, really.
Yeah. I was just putting that out for the people who were thinking what's with that guy's plum in his mouth, the usual. Yeah, but there we go. Carry on. I'll be quiet now.
All right, the first topic for tonight is the return of the anonymous general manager.
We
I
haven't
don't
seen
like
Hornswoggle for a bit.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I think it's kind of lame. I read something about maybe McFoley coming back to be the general manager, and I thought that would be an awesome thing, but it's just annoying to see Michael Cole get up there and just I don't know. He's very annoying to me.
I mean, is it really anonymous now when we know it was Hornswoggle? He was caught under the ring doing it, and it was stupid. Is it really
Maybe.
anonymous now, though?
Maybe it's a new
Can it just be like the new anonymous general manager?
the new anonymous
Alright,
general. They're like, oh, we hope you guys forget what happened a few years ago. This is the new story now.
Now let's just hope this time it doesn't end with Hornswoggle biting Jerry Lawler's ass.
Yeah. That sounds
What
about
would
right.
be an epic? What would be an epic swerve is if this time it was El Torito.
Oh my
God.
Hornswoggle versus El Torito for anonymous general manager rights, or
Well, then it really
Do
wouldn't
not-
be an anonymous.
Yeah, don't actually put that in there because Vince McMahon might listen to that, and that might actually happen, and then the whole world will cry.
I can see that. Did you hear the crowd when Hornswoggle was the alligator and he was fighting El Torito? It was horrible.
That's like I was just seriously annoyed when I was in Liverpool watching Raw and they decided to put Hornswoggle with the Miz and Sandow, trying to ruin Sandow. I was like, what are you doing? You
Oh, yeah.
mentalists.
What do you guys think about Sandow?
I love it. Love it. I've loved Sandow all the way. I've had my first WWE T-shirt that I brought recently since I actually started going to the events again was a Sandow shirt. Back when he had the what's the one now? Saying I think therefore I'm greater than you. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like him all right. I don't think he's amazing, but Miz is probably my favorite or second favorite wrestler, so I like the team a lot.
I do
Oh,
too.
shit.
I don't think maybe it's not World Heavyweight Championship time yet for Sandow or anything, but they're definitely a really good tag team. Especially the way that he imitates his moves. Oh my gosh.
That is actually quite epically funny. When we're watching that, it's just I'm in creases every time I'm seeing it. I'm just loving it all the time. It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Especially when they do the moves on him and he just recreates them. He'll just do a front flip and sell the move. Oh my, it's great.
But when this goes away, I don't think they'll have anything for Sandow.
That makes sense.
I think he'll just go right back. He's Santino right now.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
He's a comedy act. I don't mind comedy acts, and I like Santino. Santino's really good at what he does, but it's where you can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kane's been having that issue for years.
Hard to take him more serious.
Absolutely. It's like the Eugene thing. Nick Densmore is a good wrestler, but he will always carry the stink of Eugene. Just like
You're right.
Santino Marella will always carry that stink of Eugene. By putting him over as this comedy character, they've also buried him at the same time.
Yeah.
You have a really good point.
Difference is he
and
was over already as a serious character before, though. That's the
Who-
difference. He hasn't come
who
in
was?
straight as a Sando.
I don't think he was. I think he's always been. I mean, yeah, okay, he worked that sort of elitist gimmick deal, and that was cool. But it was still always tongue in cheek.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's not like, for example, I've made the comparison many times. It's not exactly a leap, or pun intended, but between him and Lanny Poffo. Lanny Poffo was a ridiculous worker. It could be argued Lanny Poffo was probably one of the most talented guys on that roster. But once he started reading the poetry and showing up in the graduation garb, it's like, okay, this guy can never be anything but this now. This is who he is. This is his existence. As good as he was never going to be anything more than that because the fans wouldn't accept it.
Yeah, they would want that from him every time. They wouldn't want more.
Well, it's not even that they wouldn't want it. It would be like what the fuck?
Here's the jackass that read
Yeah,
poetry.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
now we're supposed to take... Okay, the idiot who read poetry, we're now supposed to take him as a serious fucking guy? I don't see that happening.
That makes sense.
Really... It's just... And I like Sandow. Great character. He lives the character very, very well. I don't think he has it in the ring to be fantastic. I just don't think he does. He's good. What he's doing now is perfect for how good he is.
He's doomed for mid-card forever.
He is. And a lot of guys would love that. Let's not... There are dudes that would give anything to be mid-card with the WWE the way he is.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a
if the
lot.
universe, if the fans or the universe or whatever we have to call them nowadays actually get behind him, I think he'll actually get a push up to sort of main event status. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of really talented guys in the day are kind of doomed to mid-card. It's a shame, really.
It is.
It is.
They're doomed
but what
I mean, I'm
we're
pretty
saying,
sure
we're
you're
getting
saying, Cena and Sheamus.
because back in the day, the mid-card...
I keep losing Muta.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm losing him too.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh, that's
barely
awesome.
couldn't hear anything you just said.
I'll close my browser. Hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, you're fine now.
Is that any better? All right, I closed my browser.
Yes.
Well, back in the day when I was, a teenager, back in, before we had the wheel, the mid-card was Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat and Mr. Perfect. Those guys aren't on the roster now. So they're out operating from, whoa, the mid-card can really carry shows. I mean, look at what we had back in the day. Those days are gone. And they're not cultivating their talent.
They're
They're...
It might
Yeah,
just the way everything's run.
It is.
I stopped watching Day altogether, and one of the primary reasons I stopped was because at the top anymore it's just the same guys.
Right.
It was Punk, Cena, Orton. I know Punk's gone because he quit and left, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's been the same through all the generations, though, hasn't it? I mean, top guy in my day was Hogan, then it was The Rock and Austin.
Has anyone got anything to say about the actual anonymous general manager, or are we just gonna turn the topic around?
I like it.
Well,
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I liked it
I mean,
back in the day when it was originally there, and now it's back again. It's going to be quite fun. I don't know how it's going to work with Cole not being a heel character, though, because that was part of the whole thing with Cole being a heel and everyone just booing the crap out of him. But don't know how
And he
it's going
had
to
his
work
little
now.
box, his little see-through box for protection.
I love that. That was genius. I actually really like that bit.
I had front row
Announcing
seats,
on his own in the box.
and
Yeah,
I was
that
behind
good.
his box, and it was terrible. I couldn't see anything except for
well, yeah.
Michael Cole's head.
It's all you need to see for an entertaining product.
Yeah.
Unthrow it next to JBL and
Yep.
get JBL to do it. That would be better.
When I
JBL,
started
But
watching,
sorry.
I started watching around the anonymous GM era, and I thought he was really annoying at the time. I don't know, maybe it was just because I just started watching wrestling, and hadn't got used to the whole way things are run with characters like that. But I thought he was really
Yeah.
annoying.
Well, he was supposed to be.
Cole and the anonymous GM, both of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, the anonymous GM was supposed to be like, oh, who could it be? You know, like that type of deal. But yeah, he was supposed to be Cole to be a heel, and I guess it worked because he was a heel. He
Cole's
got heat for, you know, and I quote, he got heat for that. So, you know.
Cole's annoying
It's
as a
cheap.
face too.
Cole's annoying, period. He's awful. He should not be sitting in that chair.
Yep.
None of those three should. They're all terrible.
JBL
I
kind of
still
gets.
don't. I still don't understand why JR's not still around. In fairness,
Um,
he should never
I
have
think he
been
could
made
just
way for Cole.
handle the touring schedule, maybe.
maybe.
I thought they fired him altogether.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Sheesh.
Oh,
They
okay.
fired him. They fired him for that the Ric Flair incident
All right.
when they were
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
The 2K14 roster reveal.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Where
like.
Flair was insanely drunk.
Yes, he was, and extreme and very unstable emotionally. So a good mix when you're gonna put somebody on a stage with a microphone.
It was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
entertaining,
You know?
even though.
Yeah,
Flair's like
Yeah.
that all the time.
yeah, he is, and it's sad to watch considering the
How great he
man crush
was.
I have on him. Yeah, I had a huge. He was one of my favorites. He's probably absolutely.
He's got a
my
lot of
favorite.
good stories, though.
Sure, he does. Not for PG though. Not for a PG
Not at all.
product. No.
Nope.
But I mean, okay, to the commentating thing, like I had Jim Ross and Gordon Soley, and I mean, Gorilla Monsoon was a bit hacky, but they always put him with somebody good who he could work off of well. But they're just having three guys there making noise, making
And
mouth sounds.
I mean, one thing's for sure is, I mean, Michael Cole can work. He's actually not too bad when he gets going. It's Jerry Lawler that's the problem right now. Jerry Lawler does not add anything to that commentary team whatsoever. All he adds is and little random shouts and screams at Evers and all that sort of jazz. It's like, right, okay. You used to be good when you were in the Attitude Era because of obviously you can actually, play on that whole perverted sex scene thing. But now you can't really do that. You've got really nothing other than yelp and go, oh my God, and we haven't seen this before, even though we've seen it about 70,000 times this month. So it's a little bit of kind of a case of Jerry Lawler. Yeah, he's a legend and everything, and he's got the job there, and he's probably got it for life just because he's Jerry Lawler. But it's about time that he actually sort of retires, or they make way for somebody else as well.
I'm going to be controversial and say I prefer this Jerry Lawler because he actually says because he says less to what we got during the Attitude Era. I hated Jerry Lawler during the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I thought he was an anchor around JR's waist. That's how I viewed him then. Now he sits there, doesn't have to say as much. JBL's on the other side of Cole, and they can do the lifting, and Jerry will try not to have another heart attack, I guess. I don't know.
He'll try.
But I'm sick of looking at
I think we lost Muta.
been sick of, I never
Did you
liked
just cut it?
Jerry Lawler. I liked them.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah,
you're good.
We got you back.
Ah,
Am I the only one who enjoyed Taz and Michael Cole? I thought that was
like
pretty
Taz.
cool.
I love everything about Taz. I've always loved Taz.
Taz can be a pretty funny commentator, if only because he doesn't bullshit in the slide. Like, he has that really fun character who doesn't bullshit. Like, he just regularly threatens to beat Cole for no reason, you know.
Yeah, and
it has.
Right.
And then
Andy
JB.
Oh.
Really like
he should
but
on the knockouts when they suck.
I'm cutting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Everybody
everyone
just
counting.
cut out.
Yeah.
Yep. Now Dub just cut.
Out of all the commentators that we got right now, like I don't like any of them, but JBL gets slightly sliding by because he makes fun of some of the stupider elements nowadays, like the matadors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think it's
Yeah.
pretty funny. I think JBL, he's good now. I mean, he was all right back then after Taz left. And I thought because I would play the games, and then when JBL replaced Taz, they had JBL redo Taz's lines in the
Yeah.
wrestling games. I
I always
don't know if
remember
you
from
guys,
that.
you guys
Totally.
noticed that.
What I always remember from that game that had JBL on commentary was that when they got JBL in there, he was just as bored as it got when he was recording those lines. He didn't
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
anything like his actual commentary. He came across as, yes, Michael Cole, Cena is really good. Something like that. And it was just, what?
Yeah.
Nobody was there thinking, JBL, you should maybe do that line over. You
Yeah.
sounded like,
You gave no shits.
None. Sound like you were
understand
Yeah,
they
ranting.
say your video games.
Yeah, it's almost it's when they put them in a studio. They don't actually. It's almost like they don't direct them properly and tell them how to actually say the lines and what they're supposed to be doing. It's almost like they're just basically they are just reading off a script and going, yeah, that'll do. Check it in. Right? They need a proper director in there, or at least having them to actually commentate on a match that's happening in game or something like that. Make it a bit more fluid and natural. Because they don't have that problem on the NBA games. The guys on the NBA games do a really good job. And I don't know. I don't know if it's something to do with delivery or how they actually do it or what. It's just a bit bland and the guys, Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler, don't really work in the studio for some reason.
No. But then they're also leaving it open. I think they're trying to leave it open-ended because they're really not going to be able to tell what the gamer is going to be doing. So and they don't call moves. That annoys me, is that they don't call moves unless it's like a signature.
They used to do that. I remember in Shut Your Mouth when they had the commentary, you would do a suplex and they would call it out, or you would do a German suplex, they'd call that out. Now it's just like, what a move! Oh
Yeah.
man,
The impact.
Oh,
the impact of that move.
The sophisticated feat, or whatever Lawler loves to mention.
Yeah.
That one always gets me.
Oh, educated feet. Yeah, that winds me up. That does.
Oh god.
Especially as my guy's got a lot of kicks on his core at the moment, and
Yeah.
every time he kicks, putting those educated feet's good juice. I'm like, no. How are they
There's one
educated? What are you talking about?
In
There's a-
2K15, there's one that annoys me so much, and if you're Bo Dallas or certain newer wrestlers, every time you reverse, they say, for example, 180, Bo Dallas, the reversal, over and over. It does not stop.
What's that?
It's very.
I'm not.
There's some line Lawler makes every single match, like regardless of what moves are being done. It's like Cole says, Jerry, if the match slows, who do you think has the control of the match? And Lawler always responds. He never actually says anything intelligent. He always responds, well, if the match slows down, it gives everybody a chance to catch their breath. So I don't know.
It's horrible. Oh gosh.
Imagine
In fairness,
that,
that's just what Lola does, though. Anyway.
yeah.
Sometimes
yeah.
I resort to just turning it off, the sound.
Yeah,
I do.
I turn
I
off the
mute and
voice.
listen to music. I mute the whole game and just listen to music.
The only issue with muting the voice is that they don't have that the thing where they actually talk as part of taunts or entrances, so I don't get Titus O'Neil's
Yeah.
which is a good
They
thing.
also take out.
I'm
they also
okay
take
without
Justin
that.
Roberts out.
Oh man,
Pretty bad.
wrestling nowadays, it gives me headaches.
Yes.
It's
as
just
it
like
should.
EA with their money. They just get the money, and it's like you see Cole nowadays, and half the stuff he's doing is plugging the network or any other product that they have coming out.
They're not talking about what's in front of them.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
They're not putting over the guys in the ring, busting their ass.
Exactly.
Even when they do talk about the wrestling itself, it's like it's a mid-card match, and then they're talking about the main event or something. Then when it's the main event, they're talking about last week's match.
Yeah.
Yeah, problem is though,
so...
it's not exactly their fault. Any commentator will be there at the moment doing that, just because Vince is telling them to do it that way. So that's the problem. They're using, for some reason, and I was thinking about it earlier, they're starting to use Raw more and more often as just an advertising platform rather than an actual entertainment show.
Which
yeah,
it
and you don't see the good stuff during unless you're in pay-per-views or something.
Which is how TVs have always been back in the day. It wasn't. It was to give it was to sell pay-per-views, and now it's to sell network because they don't do pay-per-view anymore.
It's to sell anything they want. I remember the other day they had like I think it was about 4 different adverts for Kmart, G Swizz, or whatever bloody thing they come out with this week.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this program is sponsored by Kmart. This program is sponsored by WWE 2K15. This Evolve was one of the ones recently as well. I was just like, really? How many things do you want to actually hock on your show, Vince? To be honest,
you know what I want.
You'll start to see, like, on the ring apron, you'll start to see ads. I can see that. We will.
Yep. I want them to bring back the old way Jim Ross would advertise Skittles. Remember how he'd go, Skittles, Skittles, Skittles.
Yeah.
Tasty, fruity, tasty, whatever he did. It was just the greatest thing.
He sold it. He sold the Skittles to me. It made me want to go to the store and buy some.
Yeah. Listen, nobody will sell Skittles like JR.
But God, they're too.
If you're gonna sell them, go balls to the wall with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just basically reading the generic marketing thing that they come up with, it's like, oh yeah, say this and say the slogan. It's like, really. So this is sponsored by Kmart. Do your shopping at Kmart. It's for the best, or whatever it is. And it's like, all right, yeah, great, now.
Yeah.
I mean, from an international audience point of view as well, it's like, yeah, this is shown over here, and we're like, yeah, we don't have a Kmart over here. Well done, guys. Nice, no worries.
Yeah.
We don't have a Kmart over here. There's like 5 left in the entire country.
I know.
We've got 3 in my city. That's insane.
What the hell's going on over there?
Oh, we've got
3
Kmarts. I think we have 7 Walmarts, I believe. Walmarts are everywhere.
Speaking about the adverts, though, I know you. I'm sure you guys have heard about how they screwed over us on the network, kind of thing. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes before it was due to air, due to actually go live in the UK, they pulled it and says, "Oh yeah, we're still negotiating. We're not doing a pull it." It's like 20 minutes before it was supposed to go on. So quite rightly, quite a lot of people in the UK were kind of pissed on this, and they did this stunt a week before Raw came to Liverpool. It wasn't a very good idea, to be honest.
No.
And throughout the whole tour, before Raw started, they had an apology video from Vince McMahon saying, "Oh, sorry about the network, blah blah blah. We're trying our best to get it." That was booed everywhere they went. Arena to arena, booed all the way. When it got to Raw, they didn't mention it whatsoever in the arena. The network was never mentioned. They even removed the network apron that's usually on Raw to the live apron, and they removed the network logo from the announcers table. Every time a network plug, because I noticed this when I watched the replay, every time they did a network plug on the adverts on the actual TV broadcast in the arena, that was actually a DVD sales pitch for various different DVDs that came out. They basically made it absolutely certain that they could not put network anywhere in the arena, but then obviously as soon as the program went out, it was like, oh, network everywhere. It was like, all right, how'd you manage that? And it was ridiculous because, like I say, they try their best to keep us all on side in the arena, but then as soon as it comes to the broadcast, they're like, all right, fuck you, network again, let's go. It's like, all right, that is.
I would have liked to have heard the chants that would have come from that.
Yeah.
We were quite a weird crowd that day because they made the Superstars taping beforehand, We did not mention the network at all during the whole Superstars taping. And then as soon as Lillian Garcia got up, because they tried to keep us on side as well by doing the British national anthem as well, which was completely mental.
Mhm.
They'd never done it before, but they knew the crowd was going to be like, so they said, oh, I know, let's get the British on side by singing their national anthem. I was like, really? That's not going to work. We're not as patriotic as Americans, in fairness. We all just went, yeah, okay. And then as soon as she said 20 seconds to Raw started, that was it. That's when the network chant started up. They cut out a whole 5 or 6 minutes of us chanting "Where's our network" to John Cena when he actually came down.
That's great.
That's brilliant.
At one point, John Cena actually held his mic out to the arena, and he was like, basically gave up. He didn't even do anything. He just held his mic out like he does, and just watched us all doing it. He didn't really have anything to say. He just had this sheepish grin on his face, as if say, "Okay, I'm not expecting this." And then he started on that promo. You know when he said, "I get it, yet you're disappointed. I get it that you're upset." They edit it to make it sound like they're actually we're upset with him and booing him because obviously he's come down and blah blah blah. But he actually basically they cut out the first 2 or 3 lines of that promo where he basically says, "I get it. You not get the network. You not got what you want. I get it as well. This is exactly how I feel." It's like, all right. So they cut the whole first 5 minutes of that out, and it was ridiculous.
They should probably just.
And what they also did.
I just wanted to say real quick, you can finish up the rest of your story, but they should probably just mute the entire crowd whenever Cena comes out. Good chance never come out when Cena's in there.
They should let that happen. That's
no, I meant like for them. Like I'd be entertained by it, but them from a business perspective would probably want to do that. Like at least with the strategy they're currently going with, silence the fans, don't let them say bad shit, you know.
Yeah, but no noise is bad though in wrestling anyway. You don't want
that's what they did.
Dead.
That's what they did in London when we went to the London one when that CM Punk first left. They actually edited out the UK CM Punk chants. They were very very loud. You couldn't even hear Steph in one promo, but they basically muted the crowd during the whole segment. Just because it was a CM Punk chant all the way through. All right, fair enough. Yeah, so they do edit the UK crowds quite a lot. It's quite funny.
Wow.
When you actually watch back, I've been in the arena and I watch back, and like especially the London one last year when it was June, was it? No, yeah, May. Yeah, May. That was the crowd wasn't anything like it was represented on TV. They edited out everything because it was quite a hostile crowd that night.
I feel like I should mention Serboy just joined mid-session.
Hey,
hello.
Serboy.
All right. Monkeywool, you were saying?
So yeah, I was saying the actual so the network chants they were edited out, and they do kind of edit quite a lot of stuff out of the UK ones. They actually kept the network chants in from when Steph came out though, which was a bit weird. Steph and Triple H came out. They actually aired those ones, but I suppose that's a bit of a free promo for the network there, isn't it? Going, oh yeah, they want the network, but you guys should get it, kind of thing. So it makes sense to keep it in. Plus, did I ever tell you guys how they not about the network or stuff like that, about editing? Did I tell you guys about they cut out Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, not being able to actually throw stairs into a ring? They cut that out. That was quite funny.
I just have to take a shot in the dark and say he's probably not the world's strongest man. Maybe.
Yeah,
At this point,
I kind of figured that. Yeah, he actually tried to put the step and tried to throw them in the ring, a top rope. Completely missed. They landed on his head.
Okay, I'll have to find a clip of that afterwards.
He hit out of the
world's
broadcast, so
strongest
they
man
didn't
thing
see
always
it at
come
all.
with the caveat.
Yeah.
I can't hear what most of what Muta's saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Any better?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Well, wasn't the world? sorry, go ahead, Monkey.
So yeah, they edited that bit out the broadcast completely. From the broadcast, it was a very clever bit of editing. All they managed to do was he got the steps, then just put them under the bottom rope, and it was like, yeah, okay, no, he didn't do that. But you might be able to find some sort of camera footage from a phone somewhere, but I don't know, maybe not. It was funny anyway. He just landed on his head, and he was just like, and all the crowd then were just shouting, "You fucked up! You fucked up!" for a good 30 seconds. Don't know how they managed to edit that out as well. It was amazing. Alright, carry on.
They've got a top of the
Was
line
it?
editing team, don't they?
Sure they do.
Oh, they really do, yeah. If they've got 4 hours to edit something out, they will edit it out and do pretty good. Yeah, I mean, these are the sort of things that they managed to get rid of, and it's just like, how did you? Because I look back at it, and I was like, it's a completely different show than I actually watched in the arena. It was amazing.
They're also good at feeding in crowd noise if nobody's cheering.
Yeah.
I had went to a SmackDown taping, and there was barely, there's maybe a few thousand people. It wasn't sold out by any means, and they were making the people that had bought the cheaper tickets up in the top. They were giving them better seats because they wanted the seats to look filled, and they were putting black tarps in the background of the higher seats, and then they fed crowd noise in, so that it made it seem like it was a packed house. But it was, there was nobody there rarely, I mean, really.
Didn't WCW do type of stuff like that when they were failing?
Well, canned pop is nothing new. They've always...
Yeah.
Wrestling has always done that, and they've always structured the arena to make it look more capacity than it actually is.
Yeah, indeed. I always find it funny. I can't watch SmackDown just because of that reason. I can't watch it because they can in the noise that badly sometimes that somebody like I don't know who's a random jobber nowadays that comes out and nobody has any reaction to. Alberto Del Rio, for example, when he was around, yeah. He was supposed to be the face at the time. I remember at one point, Alberto Del Rio came out on SmackDown. Nobody actually had any sort of thing about him at all. He was just like, when he came out, it was just people were just sitting there, just going, "All right, yeah." Made it sound like The Rock had just returned or something. It's ridiculous. And it was just like, really? That's how the crowd was? And then they made the fatal mistake of panning over the crowd. And you just had a bunch of crowd people just looking, staring in boredom, not even making any noise. And it's like, oh, yeah, right, yeah, that works. But yeah, I can't watch SmackDown for that reason. But apparently they're going to try and make SmackDown a equal brand with Raw again. So I don't know how they're going to manage to do that. I don't know if you guys have got any weigh-ins on that.
I don't watch Raw, so or SmackDown, so they can do whatever they want. I check out the big shows. That's it, and I can surmise from what's going on by their little goofy video packages. That Bray Wyatt John Cena cage match took everything out of me.
Oh boy.
I'd actually enjoyed the brand split because it gave more superstars a chance to come up, because there was the SmackDown top guy and then there was the Raw top guy. Now it's just the main guy, and SmackDown is just, it's not really as important as it used to be.
Not nearly.
Yeah,
No.
because they used to have their own championships. It was 2 separate shows, 2 different general managers. It was really cool, and I liked that.
It was pretty funky for those years when there was 2 separate sets of championships, but they were both mostly just on one show. SmackDown was just there for small little matches that no one cared about. It was weird.
Yeah, it was like the Raw was the main title and Raw was the bigger leagues, but SmackDown was, they had the WCW championship back then. And then, who was it? I think Batista carried it really well when he was the champion on SmackDown. And the same for when Eddie Guerrero was. I thought those were really cool things, and they had they'd made SmackDown their own unique show compared to The Rock on Raw or Stone Cold on Raw.
I just got to make a little fact correction because I'm kind of a nitpicker. Eddie Guerrero never held the World Heavyweight Championship. He held the WWE Championship.
Right.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
There was a rumor that he was going to hold the World Heavyweight Championship a few weeks after he passed, but I don't know. I think Stephanie confirmed it was false.
Yeah, that usually happens when somebody passes away. Is oh, they were just about to get. I remember when David Von Erich passed away. Oh, he was next. He was the one who was going to beat Ric Flair, not Kerry. And yeah,
Oh yeah,
that always happens when somebody does.
British Bulldog was apparently just about to be the world WWE champion before he passed away.
Oh,
Is that
sure he
right?
was.
Yeah, really?
Sure he was.
Yeah, sure.
Same with
yeah.
Benoit, I think. Wasn't there? Oh, he's gonna get one final push.
Actually, wasn't there a thing
Well,
where
but-
you're supposed to like become the big guy for the ECW brand, like John Cena and Triple H were for the other brands, but then he did what he did, and they panicked and put it on John Morrison?
Yeah.
John
Exactly
Morrison.
what happened. Oh, don't get me. That fucking guy.
Terrible.
I want to
Goku
punch
just
him in the,
talked
when
and
he's
nobody
wearing those
noticed.
stupid. That's
What?
fine.
What did he say?
I was too busy hating John Morrison.
It's an understandable thing.
You mean Johnny Mundo?
Yeah. Oh man.
So, I mean, with the brand split was pretty good actually. Yeah, I mean, I've actually managed to circumnavigate the WWE's network thing and actually got the network over here now, and I'm watching some pay-per-views from that era when the brand split just happened. Been watching from Invasion onwards, and the actual brand splits worked pretty well. There was quite a fair bit of friction between Steph and Bischoff and Flair and McMahon, and it was all quite interesting for a bit. Obviously, 10 years later, it was like, all right, you get a bit more.
Yeah, but they had a huge roster of already made guys. They don't have that now. So for them to pull that off, they'd have to change a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
For them to pull it off, to be perfectly honest, what I would do is extend NXT and make that a SmackDown. Make SmackDown an NXT show. And extend NXT
Maybe.
and put that on national TV and whatnot instead of just on the network. Give them a bit more exposure and put them actually as a physical roster on the actual main shows for the guys who are ready to go up to SmackDown. Obviously not the random jobbers that only just have turned up, but we're talking about the people like Sami Zayn and all those guys that are ready to go up but not quite got a place in the main roster yet.
I think that'd be a good
mix
idea.
them with the other guys.
That would be really cool because they, even if they botched or something, they could edit it out because it's taped, so they have even more leverage to hone their skills.
And imagine they'd actually get a few more fans actually in the doors to actually watch the events then from SmackDown, because from I don't know how the attendance rates are over there, but when Raw comes over here and SmackDown comes over here, they do in the same arena. I'll give you a comparison from Liverpool this year. The crowd for Raw was a sellout, and it was something like 11,000, no seats in the house available. SmackDown, they drew 3,500, I believe it was, in the same arena the very next night.
Well,
And it wasn't that fans just
like
want to be
that,
there.
Sorry,
It is, but it's not like the UK fans don't appreciate wrestling though, because I mean, TNA come over here and we sell out, for God's sake. I mean, that's how much we like wrestling, to be honest. It's a bit weird, but there's a whole country over here, and it's not a very big one, so you can easily fill out the same arena for 2 shows each night. It's just a case of making the other show worthwhile watching. And I noticed they've tried to load the shows the past couple of times, because when SmackDown was on this time, Cesaro, Goldust, Stardust, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, all the ones that people want to see were all on SmackDown, and they were doing a house show on the Monday night for Raw. The year before, Hulk Hogan was actually in town, and he did SmackDown only. He didn't do Raw. So they're trying to load them, but it's not really working for him because people just don't want to watch a Raw recap show kind of thing.
Yeah.
Plus, I've got a feeling that the 3 hour Raw show is actually hurting their SmackDown sales in the UK anyway, because from my point of view, if I can only afford to go to one show, I'm going to go to the one show that gives you 4 hours Raw and Superstars, rather than pay the same amount and getting a 2-hour SmackDown show and like half an hour main event.
Yeah,
That
good
kind of
point.
thing as well.
Yeah.
So it's they've shot themselves in the foot a little bit with that. What they really could do with SmackDown is either bring Raw back down to 2 hours or put SmackDown up to 3 hours, and then just basically have both of them full of chock block actual talent on both the sides, and then make it more of an actual show people want to watch rather than a recap of Raw for an hour and then a couple of random matches with the Usos main eventing against Stardust and Goldust or something like that. That's just how I think about it anyway.
Do we want to move on to the next topic, or you guys think there's more we can talk about with the anonymous GM?
We were talking about that.
I know. When
We
did
were still talking about the anonymous GM.
I think we were. Yeah, that was topic one.
That was
And
just-
going off of topic is better than no talking at all, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
It's gonna be the
Going
longest
off the topic
podcast
can
ever.
provide some really good conversation.
Goku
Well,
just talked again.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
He's very quiet.
Nothing.
I would see them go if. I don't think they're dropping Raw to 2 hours anytime soon.
I think
I think
No,
I
they
don't
won't.
know if they should or not, because it's good for 3 hours that, more talent, but then half of the time I can't watch the whole thing. I get very bored of it,
yes.
and I'll
Right.
just maybe tune in just to watch the main event or something.
I mean, I'm quite lucky over here because it gets shown at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I just TiVo it anyway. So when I watch Raw, I either watch it in one sitting when I finish work on the Monday night, Tuesday night, or if I haven't got the time to do that, I can just basically watch it over a period of 2 or 3 days. Because I just TiVo it. I never watch it live anyway. I mean, staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Raw, nah, I don't do that. I only do that for WrestleMania, in fairness.
It's reasonable. It's the biggest pay-per-view.
All right, the next topic. I don't have anything to say about this one because I never watched when he was around. But Sting.
Yes. I love
All right,
how,
next topic. That was quick.
how Triple H sold that gut kick drove me nuts. I don't know why, but when I grew up with Sting, not the biggest fan in the world, but I don't get why. I don't get the absolute appeal of Sting. As far as today's market goes, I don't see the appeal. It's odd to me.
He's a big draw. Well, he would have been if he'd have turned up 13 years ago in the invasion angle, I'd imagine. For some reason he didn't. I don't know why. So he's finally turned up, which is good. But I mean, I didn't watch. We didn't get WCW over here when WCW was around. We didn't have any TV stations of note that actually carried it. So we grew up with WWE pretty much over here. So the only thing we knew about Sting was obviously things that WWE were doing with their skits about Nacho Man and Shing and Hulk, fake Hogan or whatever it was they were doing whenever they were taking the piss out of Ted Turner and stuff. Yeah, the Huckster, that's the one. And taking the piss out of Sting and stuff. So we didn't really know much about him. It's not until internet came around that I actually started seeing some WCW stuff, and I was thinking, okay, this is what Sting's all about then. But from what I know, is like he is like a living legend, icon, whatever you want to call him, and he is going to be in the Hall of Fame for WWE. So it's about time he actually fought in a WWE ring, because you can't really. I wouldn't say you could go in as a wrestler. You shouldn't go into the WWE Hall of Fame unless you've actually been in it. My opinion.
Yeah, Abdullah never
Obviously they've got
wrestled. Oh, sorry.
yeah, obviously they've got a celebrity wing, but yeah, that doesn't count.
So then you'd remove Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody and all those guys?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I love Bruiser Brody, so I get where you're coming from with that. I do like that he's getting his recognition for what he brought to the business, even though it wasn't WWE's business.
Brody
he-
never
Yeah.
wrestled? Oh, sorry.
Wait, yeah, Brody did. He was the Berserker.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's right, he was.
Was he?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Fair
was
enough.
the Berserker.
Do you guys think that Sting will come as a regular or as a Lesnar type
Lesnar.
every month or so?
I don't. If he has a total of 4 matches, no, fuck that. If he has a total of 3 matches in a WWE ring, I will be both shocked and appalled because
Yeah,
he can't go anymore.
It's so weird that I don't see him going maybe more than 3 matches. I don't know because he seems it's just too late. I love Sting and I love the fact that he's in WWE, but he is much too late.
Much.
I see one match
Yeah,
at WrestleMania against Taker
Triple H.
or H.
I think it'll be Triple H. Yeah, yeah.
I would hate to see Sting and Taker. That would be like, what? There's no point in this match at all.
None
Anymore. Back then it would have been so popular, but now I can see Sting and Triple H, especially when they did that face off, and then he death dropped him, and I think that's the start of it. And maybe H will just go and call Sting out, and then Sting will show up on video vignettes like Roman Reigns has been doing with the videos. I think that's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be all dark and creepy.
Yeah. It'll look like the Black Scorpion shit.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would hope for is Sting and H for kind of control of Raw and SmackDown, because Sting would actually be. I remember he was actually quite decent as a general manager on TNA when I watched a couple episodes of them. He'd actually be not too bad as a general manager on Raw or SmackDown. Depends on obviously the storyline and whatnot, because he's got the charisma, he's got the look and stuff. He can do it.
Does Cena hand the? I didn't watch. I do know the gimmick, but Cena's the only one that can allow the authority back. Does Cena hand that over to Sting, and that leads to a WrestleMania match?
Maybe.
Or are we too far out for them to be able to pull that off?
I think they can.
There's lots of time to fuck that up, though.
This is true. I mean, I can see a thing where Sting gets beat up all the time by random people, and then Cena says, "How do we stop this?" Well, you have a match, blah de blah de blah de. Or if Sting wins, then we leave. If Sting loses, blah blah blah. And Cena goes, "Yeah," that kind of thing would work. But then, would you actually put Sting in one match at WrestleMania and have him lose?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Sting to lose.
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, sometimes
maybe.
Vince can have an ego.
Yeah, but I mean, is it? I think
Unless they make him lose in a way that is, disqualification or anything like that.
I kind of feel like they just want to piss on WCW's grave by jobbing Sting out.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, you never know.
That's potential.
I don't know. Yeah, there is a potential for that, but then again, if Vince does it right, he can sell so much merchandise with Sting. But
Well, he'll sell Sting shit anyway, though.
yeah, I just don't see. I can
Yeah,
see why
sorry.
he would want to, but sorry, but I don't know. I think he shouldn't. I mean, I think it's I don't know how to put it. I think jobbing is a dumb thing to do, especially when you build his debut up this much.
Yeah, it's kind of like been 13 years in the making, and then just job him out would be kind of a what moment? I don't think the fans would appreciate that very much. But as long as people have bought the tickets and bought the
Right.
merchandise and watched, I don't think Vince would care.
It's a good swerve on the fans.
Yep.
I mean,
That's
there is
true.
that. There is
Yep.
always that.
You'll have another Undertaker guy there, but with a Sting mask on there.
After Lesnar
Yeah.
ending the streak, you can never predict Vince's insanity.
Right. Well,
No.
true. You're right.
Indeed. I mean, I can see why he did that, though. I mean, Lesnar's got nuclear heat on him now, especially when he randomly turns up every now and then. But it's
And
still
Paul
like,
Heyman
what?
doesn't make it any better. He makes it so much. He's so good on the mic with Lesnar.
But they
That's
but
why I
they,
like Paul Heyman when he's commentating.
they could have got that heat on Lesnar without him being victorious over the Undertaker. Taker could have beaten him, and then Lesnar lays him out with some heavy duty shenanigans. He still has that heat. They really did not need. I don't believe they really needed to job Taker to him to get that sort of heat.
I don't know. Obviously,
That's how I see it anyway.
they've built up Lesnar as this unstoppable force now. He's beaten Cena quite handily.
Yeah.
He obviously beat Cena twice. Well, I think did he actually lose the other one by DQ or did he beat Cena? I can't remember.
I think Rollins interfered in the second one.
Yeah, but
So
it was a disqualification win for Cena. Is that how it was?
yeah. So so he was. It was DQ. But the first one, he just basically brutally manhandled Cena all the way through. Now,
Yeah.
I can see why they built him up against The Undertaker, because obviously The Undertaker, he had this whole ethos of, you're never going to lose at WrestleMania. If you're going to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, you're going to have to be some sort of huge mega beast that's unstoppable. So they built Brock Lesnar to do that, because at the end of the day, was Brock Lesnar going to be credible enough to actually be an unstoppable beast and holding the title when he just lost to Triple H and John Cena in those two matches that he had before Undertaker in his part-time thing? Because when in his first year of his new contract, he basically jobbed out to 2 or 3 high-profile matches.
Yeah.
Cena,
So
Punk,
you had
and
to
Triple
build
H,
him up.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to build him up to be an unstoppable beast if you wanted to put the title on. Because if you're going to put the title on somebody who's not going to be there that much, then you're going to have to make him have that aura of when he turns up, he's going to basically break people. And the best way to do that would have been just as they did at WrestleMania, just biggest stage of them all on 30 years of WrestleMania, have somebody beat The Undertaker. It's like, okay. So I can see why they did it, but it was the case of, did they need to do it to? I don't know. They possibly needed to do it to actually make him credible as a champion, but also kills 2/3 of one stone, because obviously the Undertaker then can retire without having to come back every year to defend his streak as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if that carried on, you'd have a 95-year-old Undertaker at WrestleMania 73 still coming out saying, "Yeah, I've still got my streak, mate."
Yeah.
Every WrestleMania, he just comes out and he does that one weak ass choke slam that he did to Hogan the one time, where he just puts the hand on his throat and he pushes him over.
Indeed, yeah. So that's what the matches were actually getting to, in fairness. Because because that Brock Lesnar match was a messy one.
Yeah.
You all want to move on to the next topic?
Sure.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Just hear a low volume Serboy in the background. Bitch! He's become Jesse Pinkman.
Who's Jesse Pinkman? Who's that?
The sidekick from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Aaron Paul.
Oh, okay. I've never seen Breaking Bad, so.
Oh, man. You gotta go find it. Shit is awesome.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Sure it is. Alright, so Punk.
I saw the first 20 episodes, but I stopped because I ain't got the time to watch the rest of the series. 40 more hours of Breaking Bad. I ain't got the time.
Oh,
But anyway, CM Punk,
So yeah, CM Punk.
we
All right.
turned around to Breaking Bad.
yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Alright.
indeed.
Uh,
Well, yeah, who's going first on CM Punk? Because this is going to be a long one.
Yeah, it is.
Muta, do you want to go first, or should I?
Sure, I'll go first. I don't. He made it. Why he left? Reading what we read on the forum. I don't care that he left. If that's his decision, he's a grown man. He can make that choice for himself. But for him to come back and to throw mud when they've done nothing is kind of shitty. And top guys get passed over all the time. Promises have been made to guys 20 times better than him that never fucking panned out. And for him to bitch about that is fucking petty. That's all I gotta say about that. And I'm a fan. And if he came back, I would watch. I would happily watch. But grow the fuck up. You're 35 fucking years old. Stop acting like the world fucking owes you something. You're paid like a motherfucker because of them. Not in spite of them. There we go. That's it. And I reading that brought this out because I would have said, I don't care. He wanted to move on, no problem. That's all great. But to complain like he did, when, why? What are you getting out of that now? What does he hope to gain? The fans were on your side, dude. And I'm sure more fans are on their side, and the people that were on his side are even more so. I'm probably in the minority of the type that are gonna fucking turn on him. But god damn it, dude, shut the fuck up. You left. Be done. You left. It's like you dump a girl, but you're gonna fucking park your car out in front of her fucking house now? You're gonna call her and you're gonna try to see who she's going around with? Sorry, you left. The wrestling business didn't crumble around itself because you're not showing up anymore. You got 400 days as champion. Do you expect them to give you what you need 800 now? Is that what you need? Is that what will rub the fucking ointment on the boo-boo? Shut the fuck up. Be a man, you're done. Go the fuck home. Fuck your no-ass wife and be done with it. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, so
Thank
you're a bit
you,
on the
Muta,
fence
for that
then, yeah?
hate-filled rant.
Yes, I'm on the fan. I'm on. Yeah, I don't know where I go with this one. Dude, you see it all the time with these guys that were on top, and they have that fall from grace, and they immediately start pointing fingers. It was this guy. It was that guy. It was all this. Buddy Rogers did it. Bruno Sammartino did it. Hogan did it. Warrior did it. Guys who were given the holy fucking grail and they dropped it somehow. You drop it. You can't be on top forever. You can't. People age, new guys come up, plans change. It happens. What are you gonna do? Quit and go the fuck home and then bitch a year later? Okay, great. You look good now, Punk. Way to go. Congratulations. Now what is he gonna do with it? Now what's the next play? That's what I want to see in the next podcast, what his next play is going to be. Is he going to come back and shit more on them?
Walking Dead host. That's probably what he's going to do. I mean, the whole situation reminds me of Bret Hart. In fairness, obviously it's slightly different in respect of it's in respect of how the WWE treated Bret Hart live on TV and pay per view and whatnot, and obviously everything's done backstage. But it's the same sort of acrimonious breakup. From what it was said on the forum, he said that he won't even go to TNA because he absolutely despises wrestling nowadays, which is fair enough. You can say that, but obviously, if you're saying that about an industry that's made you a millionaire, you're a bit entitled, really, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the cute word. I'd say he's a cunt.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd say he's being a cunt. He's being a cunt.
Alright, I
It's
suppose.
I mean,
I mean,
he's acting like a baby. And for Bret Hart, I'm gonna throw this out there at Bret Hart. Let one of the boys in Stampede Wrestling circa 1970 whatever go to Stu and say, "Hey, yeah, Stu, I'm your champ. I know I'm leaving, but I'm not gonna job out the title to the next guy. I'm just gonna hand it to you and say bye." What would happen then? What would Stu Hart and Stu's kids, mind you, what would they do to that guy in the fucking locker room who went up and said that shit?
Be an entertaining
it,
ass beating.
Yeah, you go out, when you leave, when you're done, you go out on your back, especially if you're a champion. And he's been in the business long enough to fucking know that. You drop the title to the next guy and you move on and you count your money. He couldn't do it. I can't lose in Canada. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You can lose anywhere. It's these guys, they get into the business and they expect, what do they expect from it? They expect, again, to stay on top forever. You're not going to. You're leaving, Brett. Drop the title to Shawn Michaels. That's ego.
Everybody comes into the business expecting to be the new Bruno Sammartino or the new Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And not every, and they're a, well, I was going to say once in a lifetime, but, I lived through both of them. But at what point does it no longer make sense? At what point do we have to say, okay, well, yeah, I wasn't Ric Flair. Oh, well. Sorry, Miz, you were never Ric Flair, but guess what? You made a damn good living being the Miz. Be the Miz. Being the Miz is, trust me, a lot better than what a lot of people have to do for a living. And
that's kind of my philosophy as well. People shouldn't really go into any industry thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be the next Stone Cold. I'm going to be the next Rock. I'm going to be the next Flair." You just carve out and say, "I'm going to be the first me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to be the first. Yeah, I'm going to be the first Woolster, for example. If I went in there or something like that, you know what I mean? The Woolster, yeah. Rather than actually just going in and saying, "I want to emulate this guy, this guy, this guy." Emulate yourself. Just basically go out and do whatever you can to make yourself unique. Fans would appreciate a lot more. But one thing you should never do is act all entitled about it, especially if you get somewhere. Because yes, CM Punk is a talented wrestler. He was very charismatic. He had the whole crowd behind him. The whole of the WWE fans loved him. And he could do anything. He was like the golden boy for those 2 or 3 years. For whatever reason, he decided to be a little bit juvenile about it. He basically reminded me of quite a lot of people on the 2K forums. Whenever they start talking to 2K about anything, it's just like, really? You're coming out with that bullshit? Why are you doing this? Rather than just basically saying, right, we've got this, I've got this, I'm happy what I'm doing, and dealing with it as a reasonable thing. Basically, he's making demands left, right, and center. Basically going off the handle over everything and just basically acting like a 15-year-old drunken hobo half the time about stuff, which is, I mean, that's fair enough if that's his personality, but that's the kind of entitled arse way around it that nobody should even do. It's not how you should actually work professionally. It's not very professional. It's not what you should do in any occupation, regardless of what you do.
Exactly. It's that do you know who I am attitude. It's like, do you know who you're talking to? I'm CM fucking Punk. It's like, okay, well, without the WWE, CM Punk is just a bunch of letters put together, dude.
I mean, with saying that, though, the grievances he had were actually properly actual good grievances in certain situations.
In certain situations, they were. But when he starts talking about promises being made and this and that, it's like, okay, things were promised to you and they weren't carried out. That's happened all through wrestling.
And at one point, you have to look at yourself and think, if I'm being promised this and it doesn't happen, is it because of me or is it because of them?
Right. Or is it
If you're
because... Sorry, go ahead. No, you.
I mean, if you're being constantly promised something at work and it doesn't happen because basically you've being an arse about everything, then you're not going to get where you want to be because they're not going to give it to you because you're being a dick.
Right.
That's just how businesses work sometimes.
Sure it is.
I like Punk way back, like the pre-Nexus days, you know, around that era. I liked him for the clips I've seen of him. I didn't start watching until it was already halfway through the Nexus times, but when he picked up that "I'm the best in the world" gimmick, the pipe bomb shit, like, I just started hating it. The pipe bomb catchphrase was so stupid. I hated like how everybody thought it was clever and it was the greatest thing, and it said, you know, I've got attitude, I'm a punk, and you can't dispute anything I say because of my opinion. You know, that's typically how it was used. I hate every aspect of that gimmick, and it just got worse because, like, the last few months before he left, he only was using like 3 moves a match. You know, the calf kick, the go to sleep, and the Shining Wizard clothesline combo. So I really wound up disliking him by the time he left, and when he did leave, like, I thought it was kind of bad because he was under contract and they put a lot of trust in him, making him the main eventer, making him a regular champion, making him the 4th longest or 5th longest reigning WWE champion in history. They put a lot of trust into him, and he completely disregarded that and said, you know what, I don't like that I'm not the big guy anymore, so screw you guys, I'm going home. I did not like that.
Well, did you read the article that was his interview that he did recently?
No.
He had said that he had a concussion, and I don't know if he said a broken rib or a bruised rib, but he was in pain apparently, and the WWE didn't care.
Take some time off.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't let him have time off.
They can't
is what he's saying.
Well, I mean, if he's hurt, if he goes to his own doctor and they say, yeah, he can't work.
It's kind of weird.
I mean,
he was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna, like, okay, my business, if I get hurt, they send me to their doctor. If I don't like what their doctor is saying, I'm gonna go see my own.
Yeah, and that's reasonable, but I don't know. There's something there's something missing from that whole situation. But apparently, when Punk left, according to what Punk was saying on the podcast with Colt Cabana, that Vince was crying when Punk left. Vince loved Punk so much, and then, like, all of a sudden that Punk hired that lawyer to viciously try to go after WWE.
I somehow doubt Vince was legitimately crying. Punk strikes me as the kind of sarcastic asshole that would say that, like, in a sort of mocking way. Like,
he does.
Oh,
he does,
Vince is such my bitch that he was crying when I left.
I was a big fan of Punk when he was when they had, ECW, and it was the New Breed, which was Punk and Elijah Burke and Marcus Corvon, and then they had the Old Breed, which is, Tommy Dreamer and Sabu and the Sandman, and that was really good. That was a really good spot that they had going. And then Punk had joined the Old Breed because he didn't like it, and then that's when they turned him face. But that was my favorite version of Punk. I
like the best in the world Punk. I liked it. I dug it.
I thought it was okay.
I thought his ring work, that was the best his ring work ever was, in my opinion.
Especially in 2011. That was when it was my favorite, but it started getting old, and then it kind of like was weird how Jericho came in, like, I'm the best in the world, and because he did have that quote first, or the catchphrase, and then they went and battled it out, and then I thought that was a really forgotten match. It wasn't important. Like, it was a really good story because they're like, oh, Jericho, you and your alcoholism or whatever, and they just kind of had a match at WrestleMania and nobody really cared about it.
I don't even remember the match.
Yeah, see,
Now that you mention it, I don't even remember it.
it was a good match too, and it just kind of, it's kind of like Jericho was just there to put him over, and Jericho's one of my favorite wrestlers, so that kind of bothered me. But and then after a while, Punk just started. He turned into a different kind of Cena. The way he was lately, is that he would do the same thing, and then it was like his gimmick got boring. There needed to be something new, just like when he went from, the Nexus to whatever, the Straight Edge Society, and then he went into this pipe bomb thing or whatever. And when he said that, I didn't know if it was real or fake. I was like, what is this? Like, and then they go, it was really good what they did. And then literally, I think they brought him back too soon after he won the title. After he left with it, I think they brought him back too soon because he signed like right after that.
Yeah, they did. They could have really done something great with that.
You know what's funny? The pipe bomb, like the original pipe bomb, where he came out after the Cena versus Truth match, that one's just a big blur to me. I barely remember it. I think I thought, at the time, I thought it was fake, so it didn't occur to me. It wasn't a, big mark out promo that I kept in my mind for years to come. Just another Punk promo being an ass.
I really like that promo.
He had some good promos, especially when when he was feuding with Randy Orton. I thought that was awesome too. He had made it personal because was it Randy's wife that was on TV? I think it was his wife.
One of the countless actresses that played his wife.
Well, yeah. I don't know if it was an actress or not, but it was a good story. And I think Punk was a really good mid-card story. He was good for stories and not... I mean, like, it was cool. He's the champion, and I like Punk, but his stories were awesome. He knew how to build it, but then he started turning into a type of 5 Moves of Doom type kind of guy.
They all turn into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's WWE style, but Punk brought it down to 3 Moves of Doom.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And it's funny because you want to see a match like, I don't know if you guys did watch Survivor Series, but you want to see a match like that. That main event was a very good match with Ziggler and Seth Rollins. Oh my God, it was awesome. And that's what I want to see with the big guys. The bigger championship guys is epic matches like that. Instead of just one guy getting beat up for the whole match, and then he comes back and does his 5 moves and gets the title win.
Yeah, they kind of have to accommodate for viewers with low attention spans by having that kind of match.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
it just sucks because, you want to see a really big match like that. And then, I don't know. I thought that when Big Show did what he did, that was surprising. I didn't see that coming. I was like,
you didn't
even
see
though
Big
he
Show
does turn a lot. I didn't see that. I didn't see it coming at all. And it happens a lot.
Another Big Show heel turn?
Another one. But I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect Big Show to do that. I was like, oh shit. Like, oh man, he did that.
He turns twice a year, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
But did you see it coming though? Did you see that happening?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Really? Oh
when
man.
When Cena was picking himself up and the 3 was standing there staring at Show, I'm like, oh, he's gonna turn on Cena. Here it comes.
Because like usually they'll hint it out before, a few weeks before.
Yeah.
Like the thing with how it's going with Sandow, how they tag each other in without knowing that's something going on. There's a little bit of tension that's gonna happen. Because he goes and slaps him on the back, and he's like, "What'd you do? Why'd you tag yourself in?"
I feel like it's become a regular thing today to just try traditions. Because every year they run the thing, oh, Kofi Kingston is angry now. He isn't just the fun Jamaican guy. Every year. Another thing they run every year. At the end of every year, they're like, Kane has become a monster once again. He has found his inner demon. And when the next year begins, he starts in some tag team with Santino or Daniel Bryan. And he's like, Kane ain't a bad guy. Look, he likes to throw hot dogs at Ryback's face.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is. It's just one of those circular things. I mean, you can count what actual season it is by a Big Show heel turn. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
that's pretty much you can. Also, Big Show's just turned. Oh, it must be winter. It's easy.
Game of Thrones thing. Big Show has turned. Winter is coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Big Show just basically has SAD, and that's pretty much what it is. I think that's where it goes. They must just write that into the script. Big Show's got SAD. Summer months, he's actually quite happy and jolly. Winter months, he's a dick, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. And then when WrestleMania comes around and the Big Show loses yet again to some sumo wrestler in a thing or a boxer that's like half the size of him, then he'll turn face and everybody will be like, oh yeah, cool. And then by the time Survivor Series comes around, he'll be heel again, ready for WrestleMania shenanigans where he fights off a army of clones that look like mini me or something. I don't know. That's probably what will be next. Yeah, but it's just sick. It's circular with the Big Show. That's just exactly how it works with him. I love the guy, but he's like, he would join any faction at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
It's just, he would. Yeah, I remember him joining the NWO at least 4 times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I think he did it in WCW, and then he did it in WWE, WWF at the time as well when they came over, didn't he? Just basically, I'll join the NWO now.
Back when the NWO was Shawn Michaels and Booker T.
Yeah. Oh, and he wore those.
And then they just dropped the NWO when Kevin Nash basically got out of bed and tore his quad, and for some reason Scott Hall, I don't know, was he released for something again? I don't know what he did that time.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Was it drugs? Was it?
Sure, it was.
Sure, it was.
If we're talking about Scott Hall, we're talking about drugs.
It was either drugs or alcohol, one of the two.
He looks like he's doing pretty well now, though. I mean,
sure, yeah. But I mean, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It
falls off the wagons a couple times.
Yeah, that's, you know.
It's a giver.
Yeah, make a drinking game out of Scott Hall.
You do that, you'll become an alcoholic.
Yes, you will. Quite easily.
DDP getting all mad. You're supposed
Brother,
to do yoga, not
remember
drugs.
Your yoga. Yeah. What about the yoga?
What about it? No, I'm gonna go try Trish Stratus's yoga.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. All right, anyway.
So yeah, Big Show is circular.
How many times can a guy turn? How many times can a guy turn? We can leave it at that. Before it's like, what the hell?
I mean, I guess he's the Big Show. I mean, it's you know, that other think of it, that he does turn a lot, and I think no matter what, people are gonna like him, even if he's a heel, because I don't know, because he looks like he would be a dick in real life. Like, I had seen him in person a few times, and he just looks mad constantly.
I always thought he looked like a gentle giant type.
I don't know, like, I mean, he could be, you know, I wouldn't know, but every time I've seen it, maybe it's just because he's getting annoyed by fans, so he's, you know,
maybe, yeah,
trying to go home and you know, can I take a picture?
And you know, if people don't know who he is, people are still gonna react to the size of him.
Yeah, he's huge. Look at him.
Yeah,
look at the dude's hands.
He's a giant.
In fairness, I mean, I don't know why most WWE stars don't get pissed off on a regular basis. Anyway, to be fair, I mean, if it's anything like when they come over here, they have the show in the arena that finishes at like 11 o'clock, half 11, 12 o'clock. They won't get to their hotel until about after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, depends on where they're coming from. And then you've just got a bunch of bloody retards just camping outside their hotel, waiting for them to come back, screaming and shouting and all sorts of stuff. It's like, dudes, they've just been running around, jumping about for 4 fucking hours. Let them go to sleep a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So,
they do that. They do that here, though, too. They do it in America as well. Like, they will stand in front of their cars so they can't leave, and they like, it's been to the point to where the security has had to pull people away so the wrestlers could park out, get out of the arena. It's crazy.
But the flip side of that, in their profession, would they rather have that or have nobody care?
You're right. Yes. You're right, because I had seen when I had seen everybody leave the arena, I saw what are the Rosebuds? They were leaving and they had their costumes and everything out on their suitcases, and nobody stopped to talk to them. They looked at everybody like, "Hey, do you know who we are?" And nobody gave a shit, at all.
Well, yeah, they're the Rosebuds.
I thought it was funny, and it's funny because a couple of them are NXT wrestlers, I think, or they used to be. Um, when I had went, I forgot who they had. Um, what's that diva with the skirt? She's dressed
Bailey,
like a
is it?
princess in NXT. I
That's not
completely
Bailey,
forgot.
is it?
No, it's not Bailey.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, her. She was part of the Rosebuds once, or her a few times, and I think she was there, but I don't remember. But nobody knew who she was. They were like, "Oh, what's an NXT?"
You think somebody would notice the guy running around with a big bunny mask or something?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then they had the sombreros, and then the dudes. You could see their costumes. They were in like transparent bags, and nobody did anything. They're just like, "I want to see Sheamus,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you see Sheamus then." And then Sandow would stick his tongue out the window driving off because it was funny. But that was before the Mizdow gimmick. That was when he would do a new gimmick every week.
Oh yeah.
No, that part.
Came
Well, they
out as
did
a
that-
pacer.
They did that with Show, didn't they? For a while.
They did when they brought him back, right after the whole incident
Yeah.
where his ego got too big, so they shipped him down to OVW.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
do remember that.
I still have really bad nightmares about the Big Show dressed as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he was Pee Wee Herman though?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Obviously, people use clips of when he was dressed up as a really stereotypical Scotsman.
Oh man, do you notice the trend that they're bringing back more guests every week for Raw, like they
Yeah.
used to?
Yeah.
They had the Grumpy Cat. I thought that was
Oh.
pretty funny, but
Oh.
it was crazy.
Grumpy. They announced that in the arena in Liverpool, and to a man, every single one of us just looked at each other and went, "What the actual fuck?"
What is going on? There's a cat.
They
Oh,
announced it said Grumpy Cat next week on Raw, and we all looked around going, "Eh?" And I'm sure there was half the arena started booing at that point. We were just like, "The fuck is this?"
Dude, it's a cat. What the? Yeah, it's weird. I don't see what. But and then they had Larry the Cable Guy on there, and I'm a fan of him because I think he's like dumb, stupidly funny. But I thought it was dumb to have him on Raw,
Yeah.
and especially with the gimmick of if you because he's a redneck, so he likes wrestling and he's gonna say wrestling, and it's just stereotypical. And he put a Rey Mysterio mask on, and he was shirtless.
Wait, does that even fit over his head?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
he's
fit
got a
over
long
his head.
Well,
And
Ray's got a
wore
big
shor-
head.
He wore
All that
shorts
HGH.
and he had no shirt. He had no shirt whatsoever, and he was running around making noises like he was tired. It was dumb.
I'm
to say
glad
the
I
least.
missed that.
Yeah, same here.
And the,
You- Muppets
and the
was...
thing is, with
Sorry?
Who's
Me
going
cut
what?
out?
I think
Did
did
he
we
drop?
lose Wool? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
I'm
lost
still
Wool.
here.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
there he is.
Right. You were saying, Wool?
I was just saying, the thing is, obviously they're using these celebrities, these I don't know if they're big or minor celebrities in America or whatnot, but the rest of the world, we have no fucking clue who they are.
Really? Oh man.
I mean, who? Larry the Cable Guy was like, who the hell was that? Who's that bloody stupid? Those two stupid women that were in the ring the other week.
Oh, I don't even know who they
Some-
are. I mean,
Some daytime TV presenters who everyone
I
was, who
guess.
most of the rest of the world are just like, who's that?
yeah.
I mean,
and
you
why
can
are they
understand.
here?
The Muppets, fine. Yeah, everyone knows the Muppets. Hugh Jackman, fine. Everyone knows Hugh Jackman. Bradley. I can't remember his name now.
Bradley Cooper?
That's the one. Everyone knows him as well, and
Yeah.
all those guys. Those sort of guest stars, everyone knows. But Larry the Cable Guy, no, I don't really. I haven't got a clue who that is. Grumpy Cat,
reason
fair
why,
enough. I mean, it's not really a. But yeah, I mean,
Internet
Larry the Cable
meme.
Guy. Yeah, the reason. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy was there just because he's in that film with Santino, isn't he?
Yeah, because it's a
Yeah.
WWE movie or whatever. But he's famous for being a comedian, so that's why. I that makes sense. He's obviously not famous in other countries because he's
The entire
He's-
idea of him is he's an American redneck.
Yeah, that's the entire idea and gimmick. He's not really like that. I had seen him break character a few times on TV. He's not. That's just a character he plays. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why they would have him on Raw because I don't think he cares. I like when they have celebrities that actually like wrestling, or they do good spots. Like I don't know if you guys saw William Shatner on Raw that one time,
Nope.
but that was great. He sung the theme songs for Shawn Michaels. He sung it. He sung John Cena's and Rey Mysterio's.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And then the Bob Barker one with Jericho, where Jericho was just mad the whole time. I mean,
Yeah,
he even
that
mentions it
was-
in his book. If you read his book, it's funny. He's got a lot of stories about the guest stars on Raw.
I don't get the whole guest star thing.
Me
I don't
neither.
understand. Like, it's what's the point?
I
They
think
don't.
it's to.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying. I think it's to bring it more mainstream, because back then in the '80s, you remember when they would have what
Yeah.
is it, the rock and roll? They would have it on MTV or whatever, and then they would have like Cyndi Lauper come to WrestleMania and all that. I think that they're trying to do something like that again.
But that was a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, and it's like they're
Yeah.
trying to recreate it, and it's just not. It doesn't.
I
It
don't-
works sometimes, just not always.
Wasn't there it was like
But
this
it's-
big build up to WrestleMania having like dozens of celebrities, but whereas here it's just one celebrity spread throughout each month or something?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it makes sense to actually do the celebrities in the build-up to sort of WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or something like that, and have them actually be an integral part of that show, but
Yeah.
not just bringing them out just willy-nilly for a random Raw for no reason other than to hawk some product of theirs or something like that. It's like,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
How would you do that?
Because they had Jeremy Piven on one week, and he was like, it was before SummerSlam, and he's like, yeah, we're getting ready for Summerfest, and everybody booed him because he called it Summerfest, and you could tell he doesn't watch wrestling. I don't understand why he was on there in the first place, because he didn't have anything
it's
to
a
do with
solid
anything. He just came out and talked for 5 minutes. Like, see, if you see Seth Green, he actually he was in a match. He got
Yeah.
into it. He did spots with some of the guys. But certain ones are just like, I'm going to come out for 5 minutes, talk, and leave.
Yeah, like Hugh
Which haven't
Jackman
been
came out
aligned.
and just took out some guy.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
decked Dolph Ziggler, I think.
He came
Yeah,
twice, I
broke
think.
his jaw.
And
Did
Yeah.
he break Ziggler's jaw? That was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that.
Started Zack Ryder's push though, so
oh yeah, I remember that. He came out in the bandana and all that. That was funny.
But you got those two random women that turned up the other week who's clearly never watched a wrestling event in their whole entire lives.
Yeah, one of
Were
them, from what I know, one of them bashed wrestling after Chris Benoit died.
Right.
Probably.
what the hell? Serboy, stop. Serboy, pause the video, whatever the hell you're watching. Sheesh.
Is he in a train station?
I don't know, beats me. He's been in nearly every episode so far. I think he's just here to add it to a checklist.
Oh, okay. Don't mind that or that one. Right, okay. Yeah, you're in a train station, aren't you? That's all it is. Sitting there as the 551 to Detroit gone or something. Is that what is going on?
Oh,
I've actually never ridden a train in my life,
me neither.
What?
or an airplane. Yeah, I've never
Neither.
ridden.
Never rode either. I travel long distances, it's by car.
Yep, same thing. I mean, I don't really go anywhere. If I go to anything, it's to go to LA for obviously wrestling or something, but I don't get out much.
Yep.
I think I think they should do. You know how before SummerSlam or WrestleMania they have a whole week dedicated to hanging out with fans? I think maybe like a day before a show or maybe the day of the show, they should come out and sign a few autographs.
Like the
Well, they-
fan fest thing they used to do.
Huh?
Didn't they used to do a fan fest the entire week before WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
still do that?
Yeah, they do WrestleMania Access still. And
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
they
that's,
do.
yeah, yeah.
fan access. But
Does it?
With 2 X's, not
Yes.
ACC.
Two X's.
Yes.
to make it more hardcore.
AXSE.
Right.
It's
gosh.
dangerous.
Because spelling things correctly is wrong.
You can stand in line for 3 hours to record a tape of you commentating with Jerry Lawler.
Doing things correctly is incorrect.
Yes.
This is our way.
Damn it.
But yeah, it was a good I mean, some of the guest stars were good, some were bad. Lately they haven't been good at all. But I hope they get somebody good on there, or at least not shitty, you know.
At least when the Muppets turned up, they got it. The Muppets
Yeah, the Muppets were
amazing.
great.
Yeah.
The Muppets were awesome. They go with it, and they would have little feuds with the wrestlers, and like the Miz would argue with Miss Piggy, like
The Muppets
Yeah,
are
and I love the fact that Sheamus and what's his face are cousins or
that.
whatever it is.
oh
that was
yeah,
great.
that was perfect. And like when they had Grumpy Cat, it was like they would zoom in on the cat, and it would just be doing nothing, and they would keep it there, and it was awkward. I was like, I'm watching Raw. Why is there a cat just staring at the TV? And it just
would've-
looked tired. It was like, please take me home.
It would have been better if the cat actually tried to rip the Miz's face off or something.
Yeah.
Does that little cartoon thing where it latches onto him like a face hugger
Yeah.
from Alien or something, and he's running
Yeah.
around with it stuck to his face.
Yeah, if it just looked at him, hissed, and then just leapt at him and tried to claw his face off with his evil cat things. That would have been a lot better. I don't like cats, they're annoying.
I love
I
cats.
love cats.
I'm allergic to cats
Oh.
and dogs, but I have dogs anyway.
But yeah, I mean that would have been much more fun if they'd done that. But like I say, I can get behind guest host happening every now and then, not too often.
Yeah,
because
especially depending on who it is too.
too often just basically just dips in the well way too much, and you end up with too many Z-list celebrities that really have no right to be there. But yeah, they can do it so often, but they have to have a real purpose to be there and actually add to the show rather than just do nothing. And it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like
So
when they had, like that time when they had the ZZ Top there for a guest, they were supposed to be guest host, and all they did is jam in the back. That's it, nothing else. And Vicky ran the show. I was like, "What are you doing? What's your point in you being here? Why are you guys here?"
I
It's
remember when
ridiculous.
they
They had Ozzy. They had Ozzy there once too, and he didn't really do anything but yell Sharon.
that's what he does all day, every day.
It's what he does. Sharon.
So run. I remember one time they advertised Jonah Hill for the next show. He's the next guest host. Never showed up. Like,
Really?
what the hell
I don't
happened?
that. Oh man. It's funny how they just do that, and I think it was funny when Jackass was coming out. They had Johnny Knoxville there, and he was doing pranks on the wrestlers. I thought that was funny, but I'm pretty sure it was all fake.
Well, I'd imagine so. I don't
Yeah.
think he was legitimately pranking them.
They would do that thing where they get the giant hand and they slap them in the face.
I mean, like I say, guest stars back in the day. I mean, you had Mr. T, you had one WrestleMania main event, another boxing match against Roddy Roddy Piper. And then you had Cyndi Lauper. She was in sort of the major Divas feud at the time. You had I miss special guest not ring announcers. Ring announcers are rubbish, but special guest timekeepers and stuff like that. Remember Versace coming out with that stupid little bell, for example?
Liberace.
You know, that kind of thing. Was that Liberace, not Versace?
Yeah.
I get confused. Whichever one, anyway.
Yeah.
That guy. With a little dinky bell that he had. You know, those kind of things. They actually make sense to have. And then you've obviously, later on, you had that
Mike
American
Tyson?
footballer. Yeah, I was thinking that American footballer who beat Bam Bam Bigelow. Was it Lawrence Taylor, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you had Mike Tyson joining DX and all that sort of craziness, and you know they actually served a purpose heading towards WrestleMania. Like nobody who comes on as guest host right now serves any purpose really. If you want guest guest people hosting Raw and things like that, get inactive wrestlers to come, like Daniel Bryan when he did it this week. Bad News Barrett, Roman Reigns could come out and be a GM or manager for a bit. Hell, even get somebody like William Regal up or something. Anybody who's actually can legitimately add to the product and improve their own standing in the thing, even if they're inactive. I mean, that's the thing what I was thinking about with CM Punk as well. I mean, CM Punk was whining about all the injuries and they wouldn't let him get time off. Why didn't the WWE just let him have time off and put him in the commentary booth for 6 months like they used to? Like when Randy Savage needed time off and he was a commentator. Shawn Michaels needed time off. He went to be commentary. Why didn't they do that with CM Punk? He would have actually done quite well at that, I think.
Didn't Punk actually do that for a good bit of 2010 after he got his head shaved and he wore the mask?
Yeah, he did.
He was
Did he
pretty
do
good
that
at it.
in 2010,
He
was
was
he?
pretty good at it too.
Great.
And he didn't he call an entire season of NXT, or was it just a couple episodes?
I thought there was like a couple months he was the Raw commentator. I thought that's what it was.
Well, NXT when they were doing the women thing.
Oh, I think he
When
was.
it was, him and
when he
Josh
was-
Matthews.
He was wrestling on Raw, but still commentating on NXT. I think.
Yeah.
So why this year wouldn't they have basically given and say, right, okay, if you need to take time off, join the commentary booth or something?
You're right.
Or join SmackDown as a commentator for a bit. That's what they used to do, and that's what they did with, like I said, Randy Savage. They did that with. I remember doing that with. I mean, Jesse Ventura ended up being a commentator because he got injured, didn't he? And then he stayed there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
And then all the commentators that were very good. I remember they were just basically very good wrestlers or managers that just so happened to have nothing going for them at the moment, and they ended up being commentators. Now you get these professional guys like Michael Cole, who they just get them out from outsourcing places and stuff like that, and it's like, really. I mean, that's what you kind of miss with the commentary. I mean, obviously Jerry Lawler's been a wrestler, JBL's been a wrestler. Jerry Lawler's obviously been doing their job for too long now. He needs to freshen up, or he's a little bit stale right now. But you got the main commentator, Michael Cole. He's not really got a wrestling background. I think they got him from a journalist company, didn't they? Who read the news or something like that.
Because he would do the interviews back then.
Yeah, he did, didn't he, when he first started? And obviously you've got the same thing coming up with Renee Young, because I think she was a broadcast journalist or something as well, wasn't she? Before she joined in. So you're getting to the point where the main commentators aren't really people with wrestling backgrounds. They're just people who have journalism degrees, or they're just people who've actually been doing other sports and stuff like that. Which, if you think about it, I mean, Jim Ross didn't he have a big wrestling background before he joined the WWE?
Yeah.
He was with WCW, wasn't he?
He was with WCW, the UWF. He started out as a referee.
Yeah.
He used to drive guys around when he first broke in. He talked about spending time in Louisiana with Danny Hodge. He's been around a long time. Before he got to do anything.
And before that, you had Gorilla Monsoon before that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gorilla Monsoon was a wrestler.
You certainly was.
I believe Dusty Rhodes too was a commentator.
Yes.
Not a good one, but he was a commentator.
Yeah.
He also would do FCW, or it was early NXT. He would commentate.
FCW, I believe.
Yeah,
Andy commentated WCW Saturday Night.
Yeah, he did.
With
Regal
Tony
commentates
Schiavone.
nowadays, doesn't he?
Who?
Regal?
NXT, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's the general manager.
He's a
too,
GM.
though. Yeah.
But he doesn't call?
No, I don't think he does
he got
anymore.
replaced by Renee Young.
Yeah, Renee Young, and then it used to be Albert. Albert used to do it for NXT, and that was Alex Riley, Renee Young, and I forgot his name.
Is it Byron Saxton or something?
Yeah, Byron Saxton. Those are the NXT commentators.
Yeah, some guy who's basically fresh out of college and nobody's ever heard of or something. It's like, really? Why not put Why not put charismatic wrestlers in there that either are injured or have nothing better to do? Like Christian, for example. Why not
because
put him in the commentary?
because today's wrestlers are taught to read a script, not work off the cuff. Sitting at that table, you have to be able to work off the cuff. I don't think there are many guys around today that could actually do that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, CM Punk could have done it. I'd imagine.
Well, CM
I think
Punk-
Christian. Christian's old school. He would have been able. He'd be able to do it. I'd imagine. I mean,
I feel he
Christian's
would
not
too.
exactly a new guys. He's been around for a long time. He would have been if because he pretty much doesn't exist in the WWE anymore. You may as well put him in the commentary booth or something. Instead, you got people like say, you got Alex Riley on the panel. I mean, they've done that, right? I mean, if Alex Riley's there, he
Yeah.
kind of thing. But he's
Sorry, cat was attacking my headphone.
there you go. I told you. I mean, Alex Riley and Albert, yeah, fair enough. They are still putting people behind that commentary booth, but the people there building the actual thingy around, the actual commentary and the brand around, aren't really wrestling people. That's my main point, really. And like I say, with CM Punk, they could have easily said, right, yeah, you can take 6 months off to heal, go and do commentary on NXT or Superstars or something like that. And then obviously then you'd have a bit of a better skin, because I remember those days when Randy Savage just basically was going mental on the microphone with Gorilla Monsoon about stupid things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made no sense whatsoever, but it was still like, okay, it's Randy Savage talking.
It was
It's like,
entertaining. But again,
exactly.
they don't want that unpredictability. They don't want the Wild West version of pro wrestling, which was what made wrestling great, was when it was Wild West. When it was, okay, what the fuck? Okay, what's going to happen now? They don't want that. They never want that question asked when they put something on their air. Okay, what the fuck is this going to be? They want to know everything. They want it micromanaged to the second if they could. So taking the risk of saying, yeah, we'll let Christian go out there. First off, I think Christian is dull as fuck. But they don't want, it's on the off chance Christian decides to say, you know what, these two guys suck. They don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
They want everything all in a nice little package that they can put out there, that they can control, that they have final say over.
Yeah, because they had released somebody had leaked a unedited SmackDown, and you could hear Vince talking to Cole, telling him what to say before.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh yes, Vince, sure, Vince, I'll say that." And then they yelled at him for not saying something enough times. So, I mean, it's like Michael Cole is Vince's microphone, the way to get him to say things.
That's why Mick Foley quit, is because he got sick of being told what to say.
And and it's weird because if you think of Mick Foley, like I've read the news, or news things like possibly he could come back and be a GM. I think that would be cool because he was a GM before. He was a temporary one, I think.
Yeah,
he was. And I thought it was funny because they did little spots where his office was in different parts of the arena every week.
Yeah.
And I think it was funny. I think we need a new general manager that pops out like that. That's unique and different. And I mean, even it would be pretty neat to have like say Mick Foley doing commentary. Wouldn't that be? I think it would be pretty cool.
He would not do it. I don't think he wants no part of that.
I don't think he would either. But if he had, any bit of creative control, I think he would. But like you said, Vince wants to control everything. So
yeah.
I mean, if Vince wants to control everything like that, why doesn't he just go back behind the commentary booth himself?
He was terrible.
He was. He was just like randomly shouting down the microphone. It was hilarious.
On him and over.
There's also the fact that after the Attitude Era, I don't think any fan will take anything he says as other than, corporate bullshit.
Right.
Like he's built that as part of his character. So when Cole says 99.99, they try and act like Cole's legitimately like this is a good deal. Whereas when Vince gets
Yeah.
back there, like even the stupidest people are like, oh, he's totally shilling this to me.
Right.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking about commentary as well while you were talking before is that the main play-by-play commentators now, I think they just want salesmen in those positions rather than actual commentators that actually call the play. They just basically want salesmen to go there and basically say, right, you're selling this today, you're selling this today. You're not going to really be selling the match that much. You're just going to be selling the products. Rather than actually have sports people there. They're just basically getting people in who can go, right, yeah, well, you sound good saying these Wheatos are $9.95 for a big pack. Yeah, well, there you go. Your job's good and hired. That kind of thing. It's a bit. Yeah, I don't know why they're like that. They could basically change out a little bit. Go back to good old school people who actually do want to actually call wrestling rather than sell networks.
And back then they would still advertise stuff, but they would do it before the match. They'd be like, this match is brought to you by Taco Bell or whatever, and then they would call the match like nothing, that was the last they mentioned of it, and they would show a little picture of it, and then they would go straight into the match and get into it instead of the whole time, oh, did you want to see him do this drop kick 5 times in a row only on the network? Or like, oh, you missed this. It was on the WWE app. I don't want to download the app. I don't even have a smartphone to download it with.
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I always laugh when they say, "Oh, it says vote now." I'm like, "Well, yeah, the show ended 12 hours ago. Why would I want to vote?"
Yeah, it's voting. They don't. Yeah, and when you watch it, I can't watch it live because my cable does not show it 3 hours early. So by the time I'm watching it, they say it's live, but it's already it's just ending when it's beginning for me because I'm on the West Coast, so it's 3 hours ahead of me when they start it, and they won't show it unless I have like a special type of cable box to watch it. So it's never live for me. So when they're like, "Oh, you vote," it's pretty much you got to be on the website or something to do it.
Yeah. They have an awful website. Their website is terrible.
It is bad. And when I had the network, when they gave it away for a week for free, no credit cards or anything, I watched it and I felt like there wasn't enough to justify my $10 a month. There was like 2 episodes of Raw for each year. And
well, that's because of Hulu.
Because of Hulu, yeah. And they had every episode of Legends House, which I thought that was pretty entertaining. But they had every pay-per-view for every year. But yeah, like you said, they have Hulu. But I would rather watch certain episodes of SmackDown. Say if I want to watch an episode of Raw that I had went to in 2004, just to for memories or whatever. I think they should do that eventually.
I do like the network. Like I say, I've managed to change my IP to an American one and put a fake American address in to get it. But yeah, I do actually quite like it.
That works.
Yeah. Like my address is apparently a branch of Walmart in Miami. It's pretty good.
So if you can change your IP to get it, and you're in Europe, why would it be so hard to get it in Europe, the network, without what? That makes no sense to me. How would they not get it in Europe?
The rest of Europe have got it. It's just the UK don't.
Oh, okay. That's really weird. Because all you would have to do is say download an app on your console to watch it, or go on their website.
Yeah. It's a case of it's geo blocked basically. If you got a UK IP address, it won't work, even if you've signed up for it. So you have to mask your IP address to make it look American or French or whatever. I think mine's French at the moment. It works. It's fine.
Whatever works though.
And then it works. It's fine. But so I'll pay my $9.99 a month. It all works fine. It's not too bad. But the reason why they're blocking it in the UK is probably because the satellite broadcasts here have got exclusive rights to the pay-per-views.
Okay.
and they've kicked up a fuss basically because they basically signed a brand new deal for 5 years with exclusive rights to the pay-per-views in the UK, and then the WWE tried to put the network on, and they were like, "Hold on a minute." So yeah, they've scuppered that for a bit.
I wonder
So
how
no
much
doubt
the
when the
library is built up. Sorry.
it's actually quite good. The library so far. I think they've got every episode of Raw for the past 2 or 3 years on it at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
before there was
I-
nothing like.
I'm in 2002 now, and there's 2 or 3 episodes in 2002. I saw the. I remember watching the first draft of Raw, the first ever draft, and I saw the episode where Vince actually buys WCW's up there as well.
That's cool,
That
and
was
they
a
have
good-
that
was huge.
for the Monday Night Wars because I know that they have a special that goes on where they talk about it, and I thought it was really cool because I download them. I watch NXT every week, but I don't have the network, so I end up downloading it, um, or watching it from a YouTube or something. But I think that NXT is really cool, and it sucks that it's only on the network, but I can see why they only want it there. It's a selling point, but that WCW versus the WWE they have or whatever, the Monday Night War show is pretty good because it's not just matches, it's superstars now talking about it when they were fans, like The Miz talking about, the Monday Night War back when he was a teenager or whatever. I think that's really cool. But
Yeah, I've never seen their show. I just stay away from that. I just watch the pay-per-views and some Raws and stuff every now and then. I'm just
yeah,
like,
the pay-per-views are a good deal. They are a very good deal, especially for $10 a month.
$9.99.
9.99.
no, yeah. I mean, with us, I mean, we pay our subscription to Sky so we can watch Raw on Sky Sports, but it makes financial sense for us to subscribe to the network because at the end of the day, every pay-per-view here is £15 per month and you pay it directly to Sky, where I can get the network for $9.99, which works out as £6.72 per month, and I can just watch it instead of it's like half the price basically through the network rather than through the pay-per-views that we have to do here. It makes no sense, especially when you can actually just put it on my PS4 and just watch it in HD. It's like, yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
fine.
And what's funny is that that certain cable companies, they still give the pay-per-views out and they still charge you almost $60, which is the normal pay-per-view price they used to have, and they still charge you that, and people are still buying it instead of getting the network, and it kind of confuses me.
$60, is that how much it costs for you guys over there?
Yep.
Around there, around 55. I'm just rounding it
Yeah.
out, but yeah,
Okay.
around there.
$60 is also the price for 6 months of the E network,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, it
6
is.
pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That works out as around about 35, 40 pounds. Oh my days. Oh, and I thought ours was expensive at 15.
But it's funny because people still do it. They don't get the network. They're still paying the full price for the pay-per-views, which and it's even more for HD pay-per-views. So I don't get why they're why they do that. Maybe they
Yeah.
just don't care.
Let's make money in it. Let's make money. That's all it is.
Yeah.
If you got a price point, the higher price point you can get to actually get the maximum amount of people in, then the best you can do. I mean, they put the price point as high as they think they can get away with, and if they do, then that works. It's just
It does
how
work.
it goes.
And then the
Yeah.
next day, like literally the next week over after the pay-per-view, they'll charge it for $30. They'll charge it half off just for the next week, and I'm like, why would you do that? And I guess, yeah, like you said, they're just trying to get the biggest price they can get for it. And like, I could see WrestleMania being that much because it's WrestleMania, but just normal pay-per-views is just crazy. That's why I think, I mean, that's really worth it with the network. The price, it's really cheap, and you get the pay-per-views.
So
Yes, and you can also see CM Punk running around. Oh, and you can see actual Sting from the pay-per-views from his, because you've got quite a lot of WCW stuff on there now. I don't think they've got many Nitro episodes though.
imagine those
They've
would be
always been
last priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
always been interested. You know, the last episode of Raw was the last episode of Raw when they actually bought out WCW. Wasn't that a Nitro simulcast as well,
Yes, it
or was that
was.
all
Yeah.
just one Raw episode?
That was a simulcast.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't a
Was
simulcast.
that-
They broke in. Well, they broke into each other's. I believe they actually sent down the WWE's people to run the episode, and they
But it was
would
actually,
bounce
yeah.
back and forth.
So it was an actual Nitro episode, but they kept switching to Raw, and when
Yeah.
Raw was there, when Raw kept switching to Nitro.
Yes.
Right, because I've always been interested in actually seeing that episode from the WCW point of view, because
You
I've
can
never
watch it on
seen any
YouTube.
footage
Oh,
of it.
from-
I've never seen any footage of it other than the WWF one, the Raw side, when Shane
Oh,
McMahon
yeah,
turned
yeah.
up and everything like.
I remember that. I
I've only-
remember. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that I remember. I thought that I was watching Raw, and I was like, "What? This isn't WCW." I remember changing the channel. I'm like, "It's the same thing. What's going on?" And I was a little kid, so I didn't know any better. I was like, "Okay, this is weird. Maybe the cable's messed up." And then he told
Yeah.
her that he bought it, and I was like, "Oh shit." I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I didn't say, "Oh shit." I was like 7.
It was actually.
Yeah, so I've always been interested in seeing the other side.
It was actually in the newspaper that day that what was going to happen. Like, not, okay, Shane McMahon was going to pull the swerve, but they did say that WCW was sold to WWE and it was going to be a simulcast. I distinctly remember reading that at work. So, yeah. It's really just become, oddly enough, such a huge event, really just became a footnote. I mean, WCW went back a long ways.
Yeah, they were the biggest for quite a while, bigger than WWE.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
They
and that's
were.
what
I
spawned
mean-
the whole Attitude Era, because they were like, we need to push it to the limits to get ratings, and now they're like, TNA's our competition. We don't have to do anything we don't want to.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And TNA is slowly going downhill, especially with that TV deal they got. Oh man, they're something's gonna happen within the next few years, I'm sure. Something crazy.
WWE didn't even have to kill TNA; they died naturally.
Yeah, they
And
They did it
WCW was
themselves.
going to die naturally themselves. I mean, WCW,
they just lasted longer.
Yeah, they weren't making money. That's the problem. Is they were bleeding money, pretty much the entire time. Like, they were winning the ratings war, but they weren't selling pay-per-views. Not like the WWE was. The bad business model killed WCW, not the WWE Attitude Era. That's a bit of revisionist history that the WWE gets to enjoy, but WCW was in trouble for a long time.
With a lot
They
of
were, yeah, you're right. They would just hide it really good, especially with getting more ratings, because like you said, they're bleeding money.
Yeah.
seems with a lot
Ted
of
Turner's
things,
just like, whatever, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Yeah.
seems with a lot of things they're used to enacting that phrase, the winners write the history books.
Yeah. That's what you get to do. You won. You kind of, but I mean, the history is told by the winners, but the people also remember. People remember. Yeah. I was about to old man out a little bit right there, but I was bummed when WCW left. My favorite wrestler is, one of my favorites is the Great Muta. Without WCW, I never would have known about him.
Yeah, Muta's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
The
that.
whole thing with NWO that got so over that they tried to make it such a separate, like they would literally have NWO pay-per-views. That got big. That was fucking huge.
Too huge.
And there were terrible events.
Yeah,
And
and some of them were.
Yeah.
Like, don't you remember when it was when he just fell over and just got the pin? He just let him win. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
But that was supposed to be a thing, though. I mean,
Like
people point to that.
That was part of the story.
Well, it was supposed to be. They were supposed to rebuild the NWO to take on Goldberg, but Goldberg got hurt.
Oh, okay. I know.
That's what.
Okay,
That's where that
sense.
was going.
Don't you remember too when Hogan was like he broke his character and he's like, this is why this company's going down the drain, and I was like, oh shit.
And supposedly that was supposed to be a work also.
Oh really?
But,
wow, I didn't know that.
But this is okay. Vince, according to Vince Russo, take that for what it's worth. That the Hogan, it wasn't that whole Jeff Jarrett Hogan thing was to lead to Booker T beating Jarrett for the title, but Hogan leaving with the work title. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But the work champion was, or the gimmick champion was Hulk Hogan, but our real champion is Booker T, which was supposed to lead to
a feud,
Booker T Hogan work, for the title. But I guess the promo that Russo cut on Hogan that pissed Hogan off, and Vince Russo ran his mouth a bit in the back to some of Hogan's cronies, and it got back to him, and that actually created the huge stink that it became.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
According to Russo, again, he's
it's
an
Russo.
Idiot, probably a liar. So
it was harder for me to understand too.
Yeah.
Like, especially since I was at a young age, so I didn't know what was real and what was a work. And now that I'm older, it's still coming together for me.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently Hogan was supposedly in on it. But Russo selling it to the crowd and also selling it a little bit to the back made it more of an issue. And he said, oh well, he was supposed to call Hogan and he never did, and Hogan took that personally. This is Vince Russo talking. But,
so it's pretty much went from a work to something that shouldn't have happened. It was just a misunderstanding, according to what Russo was saying. According
to Russo, yeah.
Yeah.
And it did lead to a lawsuit, a defamation of character lawsuit.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of the promo that Russo cut on Hogan, you'll never see that piece of shit in this company again.
Yeah,
I guess Hogan didn't know he was gonna cut that promo.
Yeah, that shit was crazy because it didn't seem like it was a work at all. Well, certain stuff did, because now sometimes it's hard to tell. I mean, unless you read about it or something.
I'm gonna assume it's all a work. I've been watching way too long to believe anything is a shoot anymore.
Yeah.
Nothing's real anymore. I think if it tried to happen now, they wouldn't let it. They're smart enough to know.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of that meme. It's real to me, damn it. It's fake to me, damn it.
Yeah.
Still real to me, damn it.
But if the WWE tried something like that today, again, they would micromanage the fuck out of it.
Yeah, they'd be like, "This is your shoot."
Yeah, this is what you're gonna say. Now, don't forget, he's only playing. He doesn't think your mom is a cantankerous king. He doesn't think your mom's a skank. He's just saying it to, sell a pay-per-view. Oh, okay. And then you read about a fight backstage. That's why when Daniel Bryan was hurt, they pulled him out of the match. I was like, Whenever I hear anything breaking about the whole Punk thing today, I'm gonna chalk that up as a work.
Really? Even the article about he pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna chalk it up as a work. if just like because I don't, I really don't care. But I'm gonna chalk it up as a work because will he never wrestle again? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like he will, because it's happened. Yeah, like you never know. But then again, there's lots of people who've said they're never gonna wrestle, but they come back.
Right. Yeah, of course. Of course.
And then look at Punk. Punk looks like he would because, like in that article, Punk said that he despises wrestling now and he would never come back. But then again, he's just mad right now. Later on, maybe
Yeah.
what he needs a paycheck or he misses it. Because look at Jericho. Jericho came back, and Jericho said he was fed up with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, look at now his schedules. He does the way he wants. He comes back temporarily, but he knows, he doesn't win the championship. He doesn't take the title and leave for 4 months or whatever.
Right.
He's just there to have a good time, and I think Punk could do that too if he wanted, but I mean not
Okay.
right now because it's still hot. Everything's still
And the WWE has the WWE even talked about him?
not at all. They're taking his face off of stuff, aren't they?
Right. They're giving him what he wants to keep that door open. I mean, I'm gonna call him Kenta till the day I die. Kenta's not doing the go to sleep.
Yeah, and it's just for Punk because Punky is the yeah, and I'm gonna call him Kenta too. I don't know why they would have changed his name.
If they
Hideo
know people-
Itami. That's a dumbass name.
It's a dumb name.
And same thing with Finn Balor. I would prefer Prince Devitt.
Yeah.
What
I
kind
haven't
of
seen
last
him
name is Baylor?
I
I
think
have
it's
no idea.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
just
someone
Triple
has
H is
it.
like Triple H is like, it's Balor. There you go. There.
Yeah.
And I really hate that
Finn,
finish.
'cause- What's his finish?
Not Baylor's, Kenta's.
Oh, Kenta's the double stomp.
I hate that one.
It used to be a mid-match move. He would spot his guy on the other side of the railing, and he would do it from the top rope to the floor. And now he's closing matches with it. I don't like it either.
It's not a very impactful looking move, even when done right.
No, and he's not a big guy.
Nah. Well, they could have given him plenty of moves, and they gave him that one. It's just, ugh.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Especially
I
with because they have so much moves to their repertoire, and they're like, here's this move, you do that.
Thank you for that gif, Asthma.
Yeah.
and he's a good worker. He can do a lot of things.
Yeah, he could, and they're just
Putting that on him,
maybe
yeah.
they'll change it up once he gets to to be bigger. Maybe they're just testing the waters, but I don't think you need to because of how experienced they are. It's just
Love the gift.
Serboy has only said three things this whole podcast. He said, "Bitch, it's stupid," and "Love the gif."
Nice.
for the people watching, it's the gif of Vince McMahon stomping out of the arena, flipping everybody off.
That perfectly describes what he and Hunter did to Kenta. So
Yeah.
The way he
from what I
runs away,
understand-
though.
What?
From what I've always understood with names in the WWE is they've always basically had them have a WWE stage name just purely for trademark reasons.
Yeah. Although
So
they
if
did
you
with-
come through it,
They didn't with Punk.
You're right, and don't they have a little bit of a say in their name? Because on a documentary where they were picking out Austin's name, they had a list of names, and he got to choose which one he liked the best.
Yeah.
It gave him ideas to change his name up to figure out which one he liked, like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
They didn't
like
give
the-
him Stone Cold Steve Austin. They gave him cheesy shit like Iceman Joe or something.
Yeah, or the Ringmaster.
Oh god.
the ringmaster.
The Ringmaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, what you said?
I'm sorry, I spaced out there. Is that all we got to say about Punk?
Yeah, pretty much.
And we got
Yeah, I think we've done Punk to death now.
2 hours of
I actually really hope that the CM Punk chants stop now because they're starting to bug me.
I agree. I think it's enough. And then I mean, it's some of the chants that the crowd goes. It's just like they're chanting whatever the fuck seems that they're just bored. Because fuck, a few weeks ago I heard them chanting JBL or Michael Cole for no reason. They just get bored. They're just like, I'm gonna cheer whatever the fuck I want.
They should just do what we do when we get bored. We just get beach balls out and then start throwing them around and watch security try and get them. That's what we did the other day.
I mean,
Yeah, we had a beach ball going through the whole arena, and then every time the security basically came on, all you heard was "oh way," and then the beach ball went the other way, and the security was running
That's
after
great.
it. By the time the security actually caught one of the beach ball, all you heard then from the crowd was "you sold out, you sold out." So I remember actually somebody on the forum actually saying, I think it was during the Sheamus, I think it was Sheamus and
Morrison? Orton?
in Liverpool. No, the Liverpool Raw show. I think it was Rusev was one of them actually. I remember somebody on the forum because I read the live chat afterwards when I got home the next day, and during that match, somebody actually commented saying, "Who sold out in this match? This makes no sense." It was the security basically. Yeah. We were actually shouting "you sold out" to the security because they stole because they got somebody's beach ball, and then put a knife through it and took it away. But alas, somebody actually took 2 beach balls with them because they just pumped up another one and started throwing that one around again as well. It was like,
They stabbed the beach ball? Well,
yeah,
that's just throwing
yeah,
salt
yeah.
in the wound.
Who would actually take 2 beach balls with them? In fairness, but hey, it was fun.
Ugh.
Everybody.
And then there was another guy who actually started prattling about in front of the hard camera with his sign, just basically walking up and down and doing a little jig with his sign during somebody's match. So they actually took his signs off him as well. It was yeah, and they were booing about that. And then everyone was just booing him, and then he just went and basically picked up another sign, and then all he heard was the crowd go, "Yeah!" And then he started walking to the camera again. This security guy just legging it behind him, just basically snatched it from behind before he got to the camera, and it's like, ooh. Yeah, we actually get bored at events sometimes, so we just watch crowds happen. It's just hilarious.
in my town, when they had Raw live one time, they had Jeff Hardy versus Cena, and this guy, he hopped from the barrier into the ring during a live show, and you never thought that you would see a referee take somebody down like that. They fucking took him down.
I remember that. John Cena just was standing in the ring, just looking in puzzlement at him. When he was just like, "What?"
Yeah, and he started clapping. Yeah, I was there when that happened, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. That guy. I mean, like, he was in front row too, so he spent a good amount on tickets, and just to run in, get on TV for a few seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of mental. I mean, I don't know if they do it over where you are, but quite a lot of people actually go to wrestling events in cosplay over here. I don't know if it. Yeah, we have people dressed as Superman, Goldust, Mankind, all sorts of things when they turn up to wrestling events here. It's insane.
I think the most I see is little kids dressed like Cena or
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio. There's not really much to like. Maybe it's just because they come over in our area more than they go to the UK.
Well, they come over here twice a year, so they don't ever come over. Yeah. But you get people dressed in cosplay and all sorts. I mean, I remember when we Raw last year in Manchester. I think it was Sheamus against Randy Orton, and it was the most boring match. Nobody was invested in it at all. Most people were actually watching some guy dressed as Goldust and another guy dressed as Kane having a fake match in the aisle.
What? Dude, that's awesome. Oh man.
Yeah. They basically decided to go behind the they decided to there was a big open space in the aisle for fire evacuations and stuff. So this Goldust and this Kane, they were just basically having a little impromptu match back there, and most people were just sitting there watching that. And then because nobody
Oh
was paying attention to nobody was paying attention to the actual match that was going on. It was boring as shit. Nobody likes Sheamus around here. It's just insane. He's supposed to be like he's supposed to be our cousin, but it's like he's boring. Nobody likes him.
He is boring.
But yeah, they were watching like so it was like this Goldust and this Kane having a little impromptu match, and then obviously this security guard comes over try and break him up. And the most surreal thing happened because all the crowd were like shouting Goldust at this point. They're Goldust, like proper going off and like, loving it. But
Dude,
this guy dressed as
that's
Goldust
great.
and basically looked at this security guy. This guy dressed as Goldust looked at this security guy, and you know when Goldust does this thing where he just takes his big deep breath in and brings his arm up, and then looks and then does this like a mouth snap thing. He just does this, looks at the security guard, did that to the security guard, and then legged it out the arena
What?
with the
Oh my
security
gosh.
guard following him. And then you had this Kane who'd just taken a choke slam or something off this Goldust. Then he just basically got up, shrugged, and then just followed him. I was like, really? That was better than the match that was going on. The match that was actually going on in the actual ring was just all rest holds at the time. It was insane.
That's fucking
Yeah.
great.
If I would have saw that,
Yeah,
would probably been like, what do they put in the air here?
That's great. I think that's probably one of the best stories I've heard about crowds.
Yeah,
man.
that's basically that kind of stuff happens in the UK all the time. Whenever we go, it's like really, it's mental. And then like we had a Superman at ringside the other day, so everyone was just shouting Superman, Superman, and he was like, all right. And then when he
Just
stood
there to
up,
have a good
everyone
time.
booed. And then when he stood up, everyone booed him and told him sit down. It's like,
Wow.
We command
Holy
you.
shit. Yes.
and then there was a guy dressed as Mick Foley, so everyone was like Foley. So he stood up, and everyone was like, yeah. And then there was Superman stood up, and we were like, boo, sit down, Superman, sit down, like that. It was like, all right. Yeah, the guy was like, oh, he looked like he was about to cry. It was amazing.
So CM Punk has somehow
Yeah,
circled around
yeah.
to this.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. We do tend to go on a tangent, don't we? Really? Yeah.
That's a good thing.
That's
I
what
like
makes
that.
a good podcast. Just bullshitting.
Sure.
Yeah, but CM Punk basically, in a nutshell, he's being a little bit juvenile, and he's acting like an entitled kid that could possibly be somebody on a TK forum.
You're right.
Basically. Yeah.
No,
I don't know if those guys are actually basing themselves on CM Punk's actions and do it that way, or the other way around. But it's all a bit mental, really.
Anyways, next subject, Day 2K15. It's been out for a little bit now, so anyone have anything to say about it? I went
It
off of that.
sucks.
I can say that I have the last gen version, and it's bad, but it is not as bad as everybody claims it to be. The roster may be there's a lot of problems with it. I'm not going to deny that. There's a ton of problems with it, but I do have fun with it. I feel as if they could patch the last gen version and fix some of the things, because I would go into create a superstar, and you know how you could go into advanced. Well, you can't use Sami Zayn's or Adrian Neville's preset. You can only use the easy preset. You can't change it. And I thought that was kind of lame, and they're missing obviously a lot of preset entrances. But it's nothing compared to what's missing on the next gen version.
What is missing on the next gen version? I've got quite a robust creation suite on there. I'm actually quite happy with it at the moment.
Well, from what I know of, because I don't have it yet, but from what I know of, there's
do.
match types missing.
Match
And-
types missing.
Yeah, like ladder match or whatever.
Something that's really
I mean,
funny there is the triple threat match is not available from the exhibition menu, so I don't think you can create one, but the AI will naturally create one for My Career and Universe. So that doesn't mean that they took the thing out because it's taking up space or something. It means that they just forgot to give it a button.
I think they could. I think they could fix that easy. I hope they do that, because see what it's not like a couple missing match types isn't going to hinder me from wanting to buy it because I played the game. I played it at a video game expo before it came out, and I had enjoyed it a lot. Um, especially the gameplay mechanics. That was a lot of fun for me.
I mean, my thinking about the game is, yes, there's quite a lot of things that have been stripped out from previous things, but as I've always maintained, that they're rebuilding a franchise, and you have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Fair enough if they've taken some things out, which is somewhat annoying if it's your favourite mode or something like that, but quite a lot of vitriol that's been given 2K's way is just a bit over the top. In fairness, there's just quite a fair bit of over exaggerations and overreactions on quite a few different people. The game itself, if you take into account it's the first game on a console and don't take into account anything that's happened before, it's a solid game. It's not a world beater. It's not the best thing that's ever made. The career mode needs a bit of work, but it's a good solid foundation. It's not as bad as quite a lot of people do make out, and quite a lot of people do tend to make the creation suite a little bit too high priority. It's almost as if they're actually playing the creation suite rather than the actual game itself sometimes, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, they don't focus on certain stuff and they bash the game, but they don't praise anything good about it. When I had first played it and I noticed the stamina and how the animations changed, I flipped out. I probably annoyed the shit out of the guy that worked at 2K when I was talking to him because I was asking him so many questions. But I think it's good, and I think it warrants the purchase for it. If anything, at least buy it when it goes on sale or something, because it is worth it because it's fun, and that's what you want in a game. You want fun.
Yeah, I didn't actually. When I bought 214, I think I played it for about 2 or 3 days for about 4 hours and just thought, oh, this is absolutely terrible. Couldn't get on with the gameplay at all. I just did not like how it worked. I didn't even like how the characters looked or anything like that. But this one, I think I've put something like 14 hours into career mode at the moment, so it's actually lasted me a lot longer than 2K14. It's not like it hasn't got its issues though. I mean, there are quite a few things that need to be worked on.
Yeah.
The actual collar and elbow tie-up, even though it is a good idea at the start, it's starting to get a bit grating on me now. Every time somebody actually goes into it, I found myself now trying to avoid tie-ups for the first few things until the stamina bar's gone down from 1 level, just because I don't want to do them.
Yeah, I swear the AI cheats at that.
Isn't that aren't you able to turn that off though?
Not for
You
career.
can, but not in career.
Oh, what?
What?
Not career or showcase.
Yeah, your career mode, you can't actually change any of the
options
options in the match at all.
You can't even.
You can't put blood on. You can't change the difficulty level. Can't do anything.
See, I hope that, because the stuff like that sounds like it could get patched easily for a company like 2K. Because if you look at EA and what they're doing with The Sims, or even if you look at Ubisoft, did you see what they did with Assassin's Creed? That's something 2K could do. Especially if it's their first attempt, they can still include, like you said, at least to change the options in the game type. That's nothing compared to what other people, And the same thing with the match types. All you have to do is add in a couple of codes, and you'll at least be able to choose a triple threat.
I mean, the actual strange thing is, if you're actually playing a game in my career mode, you can actually go to the match options. It just grays everything out, and you can't even change them.
Oh wow, they're just there already. You just can't go over them.
Yeah, they're in there. You just can't go in and change them.
That's
You can
odd.
just look at what the match options are. You just can't change them at all. So you can't increase the difficulty level. You can't put blood on. You can't do anything like that. Which is obviously something that's either a design choice somewhere, or I don't know. I don't know why they did it, but obviously
That is
that's
weird.
something that needs to be worked on.
Whoa.
So I'm hoping next either they could do it in a patch, or probably next year. Hopefully they'll actually
Yeah.
put more difficulty levels on, because it makes no sense not to be able to do it. Because once you get to a certain level, and overall it gets kind of easy. Which is why I suggested on the forum the other day that you just don't go over a certain level. Just find one that you're comfortable at, and just don't improve your guy that much. So that's what I've done. I'm stuck on an overall 83. I'm not going to go any higher than that, just because that's quite a good challenge then.
It's so hard to get anything across on the 2K forums because of some of the people on there.
The fanboys.
Yeah, it's very hard to talk to them because they'll just sit there and bash the game until you don't even want to talk like constructively about anything. They just want to yell at you.
During the build
You
up to
just
the
get
game, they were hardcore. This game has no way it could possibly be awful. Now that it's out there hardcore, this game has no
Yeah.
qualities whatsoever.
And it's good. It's a good game. It's
Nope.
fun for what it
Nope.
is. You don't like it?
I don't want to talk too much because the entirety of the last episode was just like 30 minutes of me shitting on the game the entire time. And that'd be really obnoxious for that to just be that 2 episodes in a row. But I really didn't like it, especially the My Career mode. It pissed me off that you could not change the difficulty, because I am not very good at I'm not very good at the WWE games. I always put them on easy until I get until I can get the reversals somewhat down. Then I may put it up to legend, but then I'll lower the reversal sliders. But it pissed me off that I couldn't change the difficulty. I just get I just got the floor wiped with me every time I had a match because my character was slow as hell and weak, and it really pissed me off. And it made it even worse that they had this whole buy VC thing, because it gave me the feel that it was, pay to win. You could spend hours grinding to not suck ass, or you could spend $10 of real life money.
That's in there, really?
Yes,
What?
it is.
Oh my god, I didn't know you could do
they're
that.
doing that.
Serboy, did you just go what? I told that to you last episode.
I've not seen it.
No, I was talking to Serboy because he was here last episode. He was there when I was shitting on WTK15, and he just reacted, what?
I've not seen paid VC in there at all.
Ugh.
It is in the. I believe it's in the. It's one of the options in the training area. One of the options is purchase, which it can then be spent to increase your skill caps or to buy new skill sets. So.
Yeah, purchase. The purchase bit. That's not to purchase VC.
It isn't?
No.
Freaking hate pay to win crap like that. That is
I do
highly
too.
stupid.
I was very mad when they included it in Grand Theft Auto.
Wait, what?
The actual purchase option is to actually buy the move sets of wrestlers or managers with VC. You don't buy VC from it. There is no way in the game to actually buy your own VC with real life money.
That just changed the entire game for me.
Wow.
I feel like taking down the last. I feel like taking down the last episode now, because a large part of it was just us shitting on them for doing something they didn't do. I feel really guilty now. What the hell?
I was gonna. Oh man.
Yeah, if you go into the purchase option, all you can do there is buy with VC buy the wrestlers' movesets or a manager.
Assume makes an ass out of you and me, I guess.
It's cool. Misunderstandings happen.
Oops.
Serboy, you're going down with me. We're both
Just
going
hopefully,
down.
the people that watched last week's episode watch this week's too.
Uh,
But
yeah, so there is no paid VC in the game. Just to reiterate.
I still hate the difficulty. I'm saying.
yeah, see,
that.
I don't see why that's not changeable, but I do see what Andrew's saying with the overall, because like you said, if your overall is getting higher, it's gonna be really easy, and you don't want it to be easy. You want it to be, you want the matches to be really good, right? Like you want them to last and to work a match.
But if you're someone who's shit like me, you have to grind through getting your ass beat for who knows how long to get to the point where you can have a competent match.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. They should add it. They should add in an easier difficulty for that. And I mean, I don't see why it would be hard for them. I don't see why it would at all. But if they can't, then that's gonna suck. But I mean, maybe just suck ass until you get better because I don't.
Oh
I mean,
well.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because,
Yeah, they really need to put the difficulty levels in there,
yeah,
because that's basically what I mean. The NBA My Career mode does have difficulty levels in, so it's not as if they don't do it on their other game anyway. The equivalent My Career mode there, they've got 5 difficulty levels ranging from rookie to Hall of Fame, I think it is, and you actually gain the amount of VC that you gain from those modes is directly related to your actual difficulty level. So if you, for example, do it on a rookie mode, you only get a quarter of the VC that you're supposed to get. If you do it on Hall of Fame, you get 2 times the amount of VC that you normally get. I don't know why they didn't incorporate that in the WWE game, in fairness. It would have made much more sense to actually give difficulty levels and then give you an incremental increase or decrease of your skill points or BC at the
yeah,
same time.
that makes sense. It's odd that you think they would, huh? Because
Yeah.
There's just a few odd design decisions on the My Career mode specifically that I'm not comfortable with. Obviously, the winning the WWE title and then game over is the major one. It's like, what? Why would anyone do that? Why would you even put that in a game?
yeah, I thought that was
I
weird.
understand,
I didn't believe it at first, but apparently it's
I mean,
true.
I understand that the idea of the mode, and it says this in the manual as well, is to go from NXT to be WWE champion.
Didn't mean
But
it
I didn't
literally, you
realize
thought.
that. Yeah, they actually did say that, but they actually meant it as in, yeah, that is the whole idea of the mode. Once you get it, then it's done. It's like, what? So I can't defend it at WrestleMania. I can't lose it and get it back. What who designed that? What's the point in that? I thought the whole idea would have been to actually have a full career of various different things happening. But like, why would you? Yeah, I mean they've got 800 and something stories in the universe, haven't they? Something like that.
Yeah. It's about 800, maybe a little more. You think they would
So
could have
you can,
included some of those in my
so
career?
yeah, if you actually have some of those scripted stories that are in universe in My Career and port them all over, then you've got at least you can have a full 15-year career
And
without
yeah,
any sort of boredom.
and it makes it
Uh,
replayable.
yeah, it does make it replayable. But then again, on the flip side, I did see somebody on the actual forum say a good point that if you actually take into account how many pay-per-views and weekly shows there are, you'd end up over a 15-year career playing over 1,000 matches, which is kind of a bit of a drag as well. So it swings and roundabouts, really. I know they've done design decisions for it, and I can see that they haven't quite tapped into the full game yet. I'm hoping that they actually build on it because I saw from the actual file sizes themselves that the actual game WWE is like half the size on disc as the NBA games. WWE is like 22 gigs, NBA is 46 on the actual hard drive. So the NBA's got a lot more meat in it somewhere. Whether or not all that's just audio or whatnot, or various different things, I don't know because I don't know the ins and outs of it. But there is a lot more data from the NBA games than WWE games. So whether or not they've not had the budget for WWE that they got for NBA, or whether or not they've not fulfilled the potential and they're going to build up on it, I don't know. But all I know is it's a lot smaller of a game in terms of size and possibly depth, basically.
Huh.
Just because it's a bit weird, really. I wasn't expecting it that at all, but at the end of the day, they've got a good foundation to build on. Hopefully, they will build on it, and over the next 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to be an actual phenomenal game. But we'll just have to see where it is, because once they nail the gameplay out, which is almost there's still a few problems in the gameplay which need to be ironed out. Once that's been done, then the modes will come, really, especially if they work on my career mode and make it look a lot and play a lot more in depth than what it is now. That's for sure.
So it's just about double the size, right?
From memory, I think the WWE on my PS4 anyway. WWE is about 22 gigs. NBA is about 46.
How much
the
do you
hard
think
drive.
how much do you think the showcase DLCs would add? Because from what I heard, the characters, the superstars, they're bigger, a lot bigger this year in memory or whatever.
Not sure. Not actually. I'm not actually going to download any of those this time. The only reason I would actually download the showcase is to get Paige. Where if I can get it without doing the showcase, that'll be even better. Because I'm not interested in any of those showcase modes. I really don't. I mean, who is it? The Ultimate Warrior. Don't really want to play that one. And the other ones for Mark Henry. Who cares?
Orton
Can't
versus
remember the other
Christian.
one.
Yeah, the Orton
yeah.
and Christian.
Yeah, no, don't really. Yeah, not interested in any of those, in fairness. So yeah, I don't know how much is going to be on from those. I wouldn't imagine it'd be that much, but it may be. It may make it up to the same size as the NBA game. Who knows how big the modes are? All depends on how they're using it, really.
But if it's about double the size, then do the NBA games have more than 5 commentary lines?
Yeah, they got loads. NBA commentary is just like 20 times better than the WWE ones.
So it's shit.
It's ridiculous.
Being 20 times better
No.
than WWE games commentary still makes it shit.
he probably
suppose.
means like thousands times better because
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
actually
good.
it's actually very good commentary on there. So they've got a lot more audio recorded for that, so that might take up space. But I don't know. Without actually looking at the files, I don't know what's taking up the space compared to WWE. Because I know they've got each unique arena and everything like that in the NBA games as well. So they've got 30 NBA teams, is it? 30 teams, yeah, 30 arenas in there, all various different things. So it's a lot more of a polished product, but they've been working on that once for 20 years, haven't they? So it's going to be.
Yeah.
The NBA franchise, they've been working on that for a longer than the WWE one. So it's comparing apples with oranges, really.
Well,
at the moment.
but although Visual Concepts was involved in it, Ukes was too, and you know how Ukes is because Ukes has been working on them for a long time too. But it's like I don't know what Ukes is doing because Ukes is like, okay, we'll tell you what to do in Visual Concepts. Well, you know, it made it seem like they just did the graphics, and Ukes was like, all right, we'll do the gameplay.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. Ukes probably built the engine and whatnot, and built the gameplay based on old gen stuff. Added the various bits, and then all the bells and whistles were put on by Visual Concepts. I very much when they first said, "Oh, it's going to be in collaboration with them too," I figured to myself, "Oh, Visual Concepts aren't exactly going to be doing all the meat and gravy on it, because at the end of the day, they're busy working on NBA at the same time, because they've got the same development cycle and they got the same release schedule, so they can't unless they've actually got a lot more staff than thingy, then they would actually be working on 2 projects at once unless they hired a load of staff to do it."
From what I heard, that the Visual Concept side of 2K was from the MLB 2K. They pretty much got the lead guy from that to do the WWE games too.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, we still got Brian Williams over there, so as well. So he's got quite a lot of
Experience.
Yeah.
yeah, but he's also got the same sort of ideas and concepts as there always has been. Because
Yeah,
obviously
you're right.
he's the lead designer, so there's nothing new going to be put in. There's from his point of view, the creative is he not the lead designer, isn't he? Lead designer. From his
His
point of view,
animation.
there's not going to be any new kind of things going in there from his side because everything he's going to be putting in is just what he's been putting in previously. So it's not going to change that much in that respect. Obviously, you got a new creative director, I guess, because Corey's gone, hasn't he? I don't
Yeah.
know who the guy is now. But yeah, as long as they actually brought in THQ guys, then the game's going to be similar in quite a lot of respects,
And
especially the gameplay.
if you play it, if you play the 2K15 and you see new animations, and some of them look really good, some of them do, they look really cool, and then you mesh them in with the old ones, I think it looks so ugly. They kept that ninja roll where you just, roll out the way, and Big Show can do it, and it's really annoying because
Ooh.
you've never seen the Big Show do that roll, and you can constantly do it when you're getting off the ground as you roll out of the way, and that completely defeats the purpose of how he would crawl to the rings really slowly to get up if he's tired. And some of the old animations just don't go right with the new style of stamina because of the speed and the way that they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine the animations are some of those things that will be changed every year. Some of
Hopefully.
the ones that are old now will be amended next year and whatnot, because at the end of the day, they won't have had the time to basically redo every single animation out there. So they probably would have done quite a lot and then gone, all right, next batch will be next year kind of thing.
Yeah, completely right.
I'm hoping that's the case anyway, because they would, because yeah, as you say, Big Show doing ninja rolls out of the way is a bit, what, really?
Yeah, and I mean, look how much they added in this year. Didn't they say it was over 100 times the original, or 10 times, or something like that, around there? Um, and there's a lot of new animations, especially with older moves. They redid some of the older moves, but they didn't label them as new. I noticed that in the last gen version, say like certain suplexes, they like the jackhammers in there, and it's that Goldberg did, and it's a completely new animation, but they didn't say it. They didn't say that it was. They just put it in there, and they're like, this is there. But I wish you could see exactly what's new and what's not, because especially um that role that Big Show does is really annoying, and it just takes the realism away from it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that
And then
Sorry, Asthma, continue.
I was just saying the way that some, when people would complain about, oh, you do a suplex off the top rope, they get up immediately. Well, in general, when you see a match, nobody does a suplex off the top rope within the first 10 seconds of the match. So, I mean, I can see that why they're complaining, but you don't do one 10 seconds in the match, and when they're really tired and stuff, they don't get up. And I think that's cool. I think they're going to improve on everything. Like Wool was saying, just over the years, it's just going to build up, and I think within the next couple of years, it's going to be, it's going to get really good.
Well, that's the hope anyway.
The hope, yeah.
'Cause, yeah, that's the hope. The hope is that they do that. The hope is not that they just basically start listening to some of the mentals on the forums and just take it a completely different direction, because that'd be complete mentalist.
Yeah,
Obviously, the bra and panties match must be the clear focus of the gameplay from now on.
of course.
Oh
And
yeah,
Impales
yeah,
needs
yeah.
to do it too, because yeah, totally.
Yeah, the number one thing is to actually put bra and panties in, and then make sure that you can create any diva that's possible, and hope that the divas then can actually beat the crap out of the superstars, because that really happens.
Yeah.
Winds me up, that does. Every single time. They're just like, oh yes, 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 men and women should be able to hit each other. No, 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 no.
It's a morals
And
thing. I'm not interested in getting the podcast into a morals discussion. Wool, no offense,
I like it ethical.
but let's move on to the next subject. We've been on day 2K15 for a little bit. All right. For this segment, Serboy already knows this, but generally we go around and we just ask who, go around to each person and ask what video games have you played and what movies have you watched, like around this week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Asthma, what video games have you played this week? Other
This
than
week,
2K15, obviously.
I've been playing Dishonored. I actually beat it because they gave it away for free off for Xbox Gold members, and I felt like the game was all right, but I felt like I had to force myself through the story a bit and the gameplay maybe, but it was a solid game. And then movies, I haven't really watched anything that's not wrestling related, but I did watch this movie called Ouija or whatever it is, and it was pretty generic horror movie, but it was interesting.
You haven't got
Haven't really
anything?
done much. Um,
Ouija.
Let me think. What have I been playing? I've been playing a little bit of Max Payne 3. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I've seen that cheap at a few places, considered getting it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't done much else. Just slowly waiting for Christmas to get my next gen console.
Yeah. I know that feeling. I was waiting for a while.
Yeah.
Mm.
Give me a second. Alright. Serboy, have you watched or played anything?
Well, I played W2K14, some Assassin's Creed Unity, an old Ratchet and Clank game, I think. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal, and I played the Jack and Daxter Collection, Grand Theft Auto 3, and I think Mass Effect.
Man, you're going old school with some games. I mean, not really old school, but those are some older games.
Yeah, I love it some old games. Like that's what I grew up with, and sometimes I just really enjoy going back into those games and playing them.
I love the Ratchet and Clank and Mass Effect, so
Mass Effect's great.
yeah.
Amazing.
Like, you mean the first Mass Effect, right?
Yeah.
I've been very tempted to play. I've been very tempted to play No Mercy again. I have my 64 sitting right here. I just don't. I want to get hooked into it.
I've
I
never
wish
played
I
most
had-
of those retro day games that people lose their minds over. No Mercy, no WrestleMania 2000, no Shut Your Mouth, no Here Comes the Pain.
It's hard to play if you don't have nostalgia tied to them, or if you've never played them. I don't think that you would like them because they're really outdated.
Very.
So if you don't have any personal attachment or memories with it, it's going to be hard to get into. Like
Shut Your
like they
Mouth.
had
Oh, sorry.
yeah like oh sorry but no like they had WrestleMania 21 released on Xbox, the original, and so many people hated that game, but I actually liked it. I liked the mocap that they did for that. Um, it was fucking glitchy as hell. It was horrible, but I had liked that game, and they had really good soundtracks for past games. Like the soundtracks were really cool. Um, Other than say Shut Your Mouth, they didn't have any original soundtracks, but the new metal that they had, the generic new metal, was pretty memorable.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's over there listening to Marilyn Manson or some shit. That's what I thought I heard at the beginning.
Well, that was the SmackDown theme song around 2002, I
It
think.
was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the opening to SmackDown.
Yeah, it was like one of the first ones, wasn't it?
Huh.
Yeah. It was like the second or third one, I think.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite themes, though. They did really good.
it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like, I haven't got a console that can play them, but I would be really interested in Shut Your Mouth for the open-ended career mode. The career
That was
mode
fun.
the career mode that Day2K15's career mode should have been.
That was a lot of fun, especially going to the general manager's office and bugging them for title shots over and over and over.
Just become Christian, one more shot.
One more shot. It's like, sorry, I don't have anything for you right now. Go face the hurricane 10 times.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, that was one that I used to enjoy doing. So, right, yeah, can I have a title shot? No, you can have this guy. It's like, oh,
Christopher Nowinski.
Here's Val Venus.
yeah, he is the Godfather. Okay.
It was a lot of fun though, especially the open world type thing. You could just go in the boiler room and Lita's just chilling in the boiler room.
Yeah, you just chill out with Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
In the boiler room. Going,
Deborah's gonna offer you cookies, and then Stone Cold's gonna come out and yell at you and say what 30 times.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It was like
Then rather than punching you, he punches Deborah.
Went dark. Gone dark.
That's okay. Ouch.
Family show.
Yeah, man.
Keep it PG.
Yeah,
no, it was like there was just Shut Your Mouth is the one thing that ever bugged me about Shut Your Mouth is that arbitrarily every 6 months you had to change brand. That was annoying. That was the only problem.
I remember they'd make you. I thought the beginning was
by the
funny
way, we got a draft, and you've moved. Oh right, yeah, thanks, nice.
Yeah, and it's not even once a year; it's twice a year. It's like, here you go, you're on Raw.
Every 6 months you move. Is that right? Cool.
But it was good though. I mean that was I would love to get Goldust and beat up on Billy and Chuck, or ride Taker's motorcycle around the arena while they're chasing you down.
Yes.
Crazy shit.
We're still recovering from that joke I just made a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm trying to go over it.
Pretend it didn't happen.
Forget it happened. Forget
Put
it.
a bag over it.
Like WWE does with most accidents.
And Chris Benoit.
And Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
Who?
Who are you talking about? Who?
I
They
don't
just
know.
black him out when he's doing the triple German suplex. You see the little black bar moving with his head.
Who's that guy?
I live on the network where they basically have that warning may contain Chris Benoit things around about 2000 to 2004. It's like, yeah, cool.
May contain Chris Benoit.
Yeah, well,
They didn't even bother to watch the show.
It doesn't particularly say that. It just basically says something like actors are portrayed blah 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 and no longer blah blah blah. But it basically is pretty much saying warning may contain Chris Benoit. That's pretty much what they're trying to get at, to be honest with you. It's like the BEC with Jimmy Savile. They just blank him out of existence. The same sort of principle.
Chris who?
You guys, yeah,
we're Americans.
What?
that
way. Wow.
I've realised that just goes completely over your head because you have no idea.
Yeah, it's like we started rambling about Fox to you or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that too much. Yeah. Anybody who's British will actually get that, to be honest with you. That's fine. For the 2 or 3 British people that are actually on the forums, they'll actually know about what I'm talking about. But yeah. But we'll move on from that.
I think we've got more Australians than Brits, but... Alright, Serboy, you're right. Yeah, right. Muta, what have you played? Wait, Serboy, did you say your movies too, or just your video games?
Just the video games.
Have you watched any movies in the past week or so?
Yeah, I mainly watched like some WWE documentaries on CM Punk and Eddie Guerrero, and ironically Chris Benoit.
Dude, did you guys watch the Usos documentary?
Who is Chris Benoit? No, I must. Yeah.
Why would there be an Usos documentary?
They had an Usos documentary on the network, and it was pretty interesting that they were trying to go be football players, and then they ended up being movers, and then Umaga was the one to get them into the business.
Of course.
Umaga.
Yeah, and you'd think it
Umaga.
would be Rikishi, their dad, but no, it was Umaga.
Or as William
it was
Regal
their-
calls him, Umanga.
Yes.
Yeah, because because it's their uncle. So
Huh.
You manga.
Yeah. Alright.
How'd they get a pay-per-view? The one tag team, they're just there, the generic Samoans, and they got a they got a documentary.
I don't know. And it's only
Yeah.
half an hour, but there was one documentary that they put on the network that I really wanted to watch, and it was like a DX one where they broke their characters and they were talking about heat that they got from Vince and shit.
I'm pretty sure
I didn't-
DX was Vince's idea, but whatever.
Well,
No, I mean, like-
but things they did possibly.
Yeah, things that made Vince mad. Like it was like a shoot kind of with Triple H and Shawn, but they didn't have to go by the story. They didn't have to pretend to be the game or whatever. He was just being himself, telling cool ass stories about their time in DX.
I'm not a fan of the.
Documentaries.
I'm a fan. I love the documentaries, but if they're gonna be, I hate when they try to. When you can tell either some of them are going kayfabe, or some of them are being a shoot. Be one or the other, and I really don't like the kayfabe ones either. But if you're gonna be kayfabe, be all the way with it.
Yeah,
like
it's like,
when
I got heat for this, but then the game was like that because that's my character.
Yeah. Or when I was watching, I know it was an older one, so you really can't get too worked up about it. But when they did the greatest managers, and Slaughter was talking about how the Grand Wizard would scout his opponents for him. I'm like, who do they think they're talking to? Who are they talking to?
12-year-olds, but then again,
I know,
they're not 12 anymore.
Right. And it was an older documentary. It was from a while because they talked about, Jim Cornette was a part of it. That's how long ago it was. So it's like that bothered me. It's like,
And yeah, you're right. And little kids aren't really gonna watch the documentaries.
Right.
It's more of an adult thing. So you think they
Right.
would just, the adults they don't want to. Sure, they want to hear about what's going on in the WWE, but they want to hear their stories without not them being in character. They want to hear real shit. That's funny.
Right. And I don't.
You know-
I just found that very annoying.
Yeah, I remember they made that Punk documentary like 2 years ago when he was in his run with Heyman against Taker. And they started making up these bullshit stories about how Heyman had taken him under his wing. Heyman, like WWE was going to get rid of him, but Heyman vetoed it and said he's really good. I'm like, I bet they barely at all interacted before they had the feud with Taker.
Yeah, they probably didn't. It's just.
Well, they were in OVW at the same time.
Oh yeah.
They were. I mean, it could be total bullshit, but they were in OVW at the same time.
What's the?
I just think that.
Not to throw salt on it, but it could be absolute bullshit. But yeah, they were down there at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that documentaries shouldn't be in character, and if they want to be in character, you save it for the shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't remember which documentary, but there was some documentary I watched where they were really bad in character, and I was just, no, don't do that.
No,
was
until
it?
you tell the TV. No, TV, please don't.
I mean, I watch your documentaries to freaking find out more shit, not to be entertained like I'm some 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was the top 50 finishers or something. And Dusty Rhodes, when they came around to him for the bionic elbow, he just started going off about how he jumped 50 feet in the air to do it. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh,
That would be annoying.
You sure
I
he
like
wasn't
Dusty.
You sure he wasn't playing WWE All Stars before he actually did the interview?
That was a good game. I like that game.
I did too. I can understand why someone wouldn't like it, but I played it a lot.
I did too. More than I probably should have. I played the shit. I was like in the top 10 leaderboards for that game.
Really?
Holy
Yeah, yeah. I
shit.
was in the tournaments that I think his name was Charles Shane I forgot his name, but yeah, I was in one of his tournaments and then I got crushed by some dude who played John Cena and he did the legit 5 moves of doom and beat me.
Buried.
Yeah, you got buried.
Yeah, and I was Edge.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Better than Carlito or Alex Riley, I guess.
Or the
Those-
next.
Were those
Such
the
a
two
good
that
game.
he beat the shit out, like he legit got issues with and beat the shit out of in real life?
Possibly.
Did you know that Big Show and Khali had gotten in a real fight?
What?
Ugh.
That would just be the slowest fight ever. Like,
Well-
Big Show punches Kali once, Kali falls, Kali doesn't get back up unless someone gets a ladder.
Yeah,
Cool.
Carly can't walk.
According to Jericho in his book, Khali started doing Big Show's slap. You know, the slap that he does. And Big Show called him out and he's like, why the fuck are you doing that? And Khali's just like, he doesn't know English, so he's just like, yeah, man, what's up? That's what Jericho is saying. So Big Show pushes him and then Khali pushes him back and Big Show socks him in the face. And they're going down fighting and nobody's going to stop them because they're so big. John Cena wouldn't even stop the fight. But apparently, I guess Vince had to go in there and stop them. And Big Show had gotten fined for it. He got fined $10,000 for that, for starting that fight. And then Khali wasn't allowed to use Show's moves anymore.
I remember him using nothing but the chest slap when I watched.
Well,
It was even his
I mean-
finisher.
That's all he ever did.
his book is really Jericho's book tells a lot of good stories. Like, I don't know if you guys read the part in the forum where I was talking about Kofi Kingston getting in a fight with Vince McMahon, a legit tackle fight.
Playing?
Yeah, on the plane. Yeah, because
And it
Vince
wasn't-
McMahon was talking shit to Kofi.
It wasn't even like because they had genuine issues. It was just like, you know, bro type, beating the shit out of each other for fun, right?
No, at first it was serious. Then it turned into that
Ah.
because Kofi was legit mad, and Vince McMahon was like, "Whatever, I'm Vince McMahon. I do what the fuck I want."
Oh yeah.
That's yeah. If you read that, it's a good book. Jericho tells a lot of good stories, and then he told you the story about when he bladed or when he fought Ric Flair recently, a couple years ago, and Flair bladed, and you know how that's not allowed anymore, and apparently like he got fined huge for it, like thousands of dollars for blading, and McMahon doesn't like that because he thinks it takes his sponsors away, like the Be a Star or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's prevented that.
I'd imagine the
Didn't Punk
charity
Blade get in
organization.
a lot of trouble?
I'd imagine.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
Oh,
Didn't Punk Blade get in a lot of trouble?
I don't know. I know whoever does it they'll get in big trouble and they'll get fined. Is from what Chris Jericho says. And you
Wait.
know how Flair bleeds. Flair's one of the worst.
Yeah.
just all over
Yeah,
the
Flair.
place.
Yeah, fucking his hair is dyed
Black.
red.
But yeah, I'd imagine the humanitarian organizations would be slightly opposed to the guys cutting themselves for money, just a
Yeah,
little bit.
But
Yeah.
then again, it's
Yeah.
wrestling. What the fuck? What do you expect? I mean, what they've done with it lately is all right, but you miss that sense of blood, like getting that. I mean, they don't do chair shots to the head anymore because, you know, he who shall not be named.
Benoit.
Yeah.
You just named him. He's not supposed to be named.
Who?
God
From
damn.
now on, he's Chris Voldemort. All right.
Yeah.
Can't-
We call him Benoit.
That's what I
Benoit.
always read it as for the longest time. Just because
Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
Benoit.
Me too.
Is he French?
Benoit.
He's Canadian.
I know.
This is you?
When I was a little kid, I didn't know better. I was like, why is his name Chris Benoit? What kind of name is that? I would play SmackDown and I'd be like, oh, Chris Benoit, he's toothless aggression, but he has some teeth.
Toothless aggression.
Toothless. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Toothless, although he's only missing one tooth.
Yeah, yeah, and then the Rabid Wolverine, toothless aggression, murderer.
Didn't he have
Yeah.
a rail on his pipe?
Family slaughter, you know. All kinds of fun nicknames.
Those are some gimmicks thrown out there.
He comes back from the grave. You're for sure Vince would make a way to turn it into a work of some sort.
And he has a mystery partner, and just out comes Owen Hart.
Ooh.
Just go for as many low blows as we can. It's like a part in Dumb and Dumber where he just gets down on his knees and starts doing the speed bag thing with the guy's crotch.
Is this where it's degrading to now?
I'm
really?
sorry. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Let's go back on topic.
You can tell we've hit our top when we start mentioning Dumb and Dumber. Anyway,
Yeah.
Muta, what
Yeah.
video games, movies you watched or played or whatever?
Well, I am currently playing Madden 15. I like it a lot. Not a huge football fan like I used to be, but I just decided to buy a Madden because I hadn't picked one up in a while. It's fun.
Yeah, it's cool every few years.
Yeah. I got the new Legos Batman game, which is fucking fun. I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm an old man buying Lego games, but it's fun.
I still do too.
Games, it's just such a fun game.
Isn't Kevin Smith in that game?
Yes, he is.
I think Conan O'Brien is too.
Yep. Conan O'Brien is your guide through the worlds. In like the Batcave. Yeah, he's your guide.
That's awesome.
He teaches you shit. And so is I always fuck up his name. Oh, god damn it. The Green Lantern?
Lantern.
No. The Green Lantern. Daffy
What?
Duck dressed up.
Oh,
Daffy Duck
okay.
dressed up as the Green Lantern. So much fun. It's fun.
It's a lot
Cool
weird.
DLC. Hours of gameplay. Good shit.
Yeah, well, this one definitely
what-
interests. Oh, sorry.
Now again,
This one really interested me because it had the Dark Knight DLC.
yes, it did. It has the Joker, the Ledger Nurse Joker character. It has the Bane, the Tom Hardy Bane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it
A
have
really
Morgan Freeman?
funny. No Morgan Freeman. Sorry, I apologize. No Morgan Freeman. In a few, it has like the old school Batman levels, like the 70th anniversary, 75th anniversary.
Is Serboy
Whoa.
blowing a horn into his mic?
Sounds like you have a bee in
I
a
think
jar
so.
and you're pissing it off.
Oh shit, that's my phone.
Okay.
His phone.
Muta, you were saying?
Yeah, so that's fun. Been playing a lot of 2K WWE 2K14.
What did you think of it?
I like it. I like it a lot. I like having Ric Flair to use. The old school Ric Flair, not the old Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Like having the Bret Hart. I like I have an entire roster of both legends and my creatives, my create-cause, as how we call them.
Yeah.
It's fun. I didn't even bother with the fucking 30 years of WrestleMania. I didn't give a shit. I used the accelerator.
That works.
Yeah, fuck this. I don't give a shit. I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted to do my universe and have fun with that. That's it. Well, I also got Last of Us. I haven't played it yet. It's sitting there waiting for me.
That is.
Yeah.
That's. I think it's really good. Like there are parts where it's kind of generic.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spoil anything. It's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I bought it based off of like the first Like the guy did a multi-part play along, so you didn't get spoilers. Like I watched the first 10 minutes and it looked fun, so I picked that up, and I picked up Persona 4.
Yeah,
I go on, the fighting game. I go on big game binging sprees where I'll buy like a lot of games at once and ride those for a while. That's just what I do.
I'm the same
Movies.
way, especially around Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday and tax season. Especially tax season because I get murdered during the year.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I get a nice chunk of change back, and that's awesome. That's when I say I'm cheap. I'm not cheap. I just don't spend a lot of money on myself. So I consider that found money, and that's when I really have fun this tax season. Movies. Finally saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and I fucking loved it.
yeah.
that was a good movie.
It was a
Excellent.
lot of fun.
Yeah,
I watched the movie The Raid. It's Indonesian. Really fun. It's fun. It's a brutal movie, but it's a fun watch. It's not slow. Yeah, Indonesian, you have to deal with the subtitles, but it was a really brutal, fun movie. It very reminiscent of, I don't know if anybody watched Dread.
no, I'm afraid I didn't.
Dread is it's a fun movie. It's a good movie. It's nothing great. It's not going to change your life, but if you have, for the fuck of it, throw it on. Very reminiscent of that. Cops go into a building and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
That type of deal. Cool little movie. They made a sequel to The Raid. I haven't yet gone into that one. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to, But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
All right.
TV, been watching American Horror Story. I had to buy into the hype. It's good.
I love that show. Oh my! I didn't.
I'm on
What are you on?
season 3, and I hit a wall. I'm on season 3.
You're on Coven?
Yeah, I hit a wall on like episode 4. I'll get back to it eventually because I just wanted to watch other stuff. Loved season 1. Season 2 was fucking great.
I didn't like Coven as much. My
No.
girlfriend loves Coven, but I love Freak Show. The newest one is really good.
Yeah, I have to get there. I don't want to skip. I want to finish the season.
That makes
I'm
sense.
on. Yeah, okay. That's what I've been up to since I've been gone for a while.
All
So
right.
yeah, that's me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
Right. All right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, I've been doing various different games lately. I've been getting up to level 100 on Warlords of Draenor, World of Warcraft. Sorting out my garrison, bloody on that. Obviously, nobody ever needs to say anything about World of Warcraft. It's just there. That's what everyone knows about it. So don't really need to go into detail on it. I've been playing Football Manager 2015, or as you Americans would insist on calling it, Soccer Manager, I guess. So I've been trying to take a Glasgow Rangers back to the Scottish Premier League on that. WWE 2K15 my career mode at the moment, and Grand Theft Auto 4 on the PS4, which I actually quite like. I played it on the Xbox 360, but there's a couple of nice little upgrades on the PS4 version, which are nicely appreciated. So putting the things like the microphone on your speaker, using that, and doing the different lights and stuff like that on the controller when you're being chased by the police is quite a nice touch, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously all the DLC that comes through with that is actually quite nice too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've actually done a good job on remastering that. Rockstar have, in fairness. They didn't do it as just basically a little cut and paste job. They gave it the full treatment, which is quite nice. I don't know what differences between that and the Xbox One version are, other than just the little tiddly lights and the microphone thing. I'm assuming Xbox got more connector stuff in it, but I don't know. But yeah, I've been playing that. It's quite nice. And
I just want to say this real quick. I'm getting GTA 5 on PS4 soon, and I believe Mike and Serboy both said the same. So maybe we can
Yeah.
play multiplayer on there.
Well, I need to
you
get,
can do.
Oh yeah.
I'll be getting
All
my
people need
4
to do is,
possibly next year.
yeah, people just need to start adding me to PSNet.
I don't
People,
think I have yet.
nobody has apart from Muta and Jeff, I believe. Everybody else is like whatevs.
I don't have Muta or Jeff either. What the hell?
I think I've got Raven and ATI on my Xbox, and that's it.
Nobody else has bothered. Oh, even Mike even put me on his, and he doesn't even have a PS4. Don't know what your guys' excuses are, to be fair.
Well,
Oh, and I've got Caveman Gamer on there as well.
This is my ID in the chat.
Yeah, I think I
Feel
just
free.
got Caveman, Ethan, Soon, Raven, I think. Who cares? I think I've got Who Cares and Steve.
I'm pretty sure I've got you already there, Muta, to be honest.
Okay.
I think you're already on there. You show up every now and then. I think you've been
Okay.
playing stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're on there. But nobody else is, because you're all ignorant or something. Anyway, yes,
We're
so,
Americans, it's natural.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But they've done a good job with GTA, I think, on the next gen ports. They've actually done it quite well, and they've done a nice few things on there, like giving all the DLC out to everybody on next gen as well. It's quite nice, and I did like how you can actually import all your guys across as well, which was always quite good. What other games I've been playing? Just and Destiny. I've been playing Destiny as well, trying to actually do raids on Destiny with some of my friends. So that's quite nice. Oh, and 2K15. I actually haven't seen any of your cores yet. I haven't seen Muta or Jeff, but I've seen one of my friends from work. His cores randomly turned up in my universe right now. On Korea, I actually had a feud with him at one point. But I haven't seen anybody else yet. Hopefully they'll turn up soon, and I'll start smashing people with chairs. It'll be quite nice. Yeah. Any other games I've been playing? No, not really. Yeah, obviously boring games. WoW and Football Manager. You probably have no idea about Football Manager or even care, to be fair.
I do. I get what you mean. Why people call it soccer? Like, why does it called soccer? But it's just because they have football here, which is the NFL, and a lot of people are insisting on like that's football.
Yeah. Every time I hear any Americans talk about football, I just think about the
soccer. I just
no,
soccer. See, like,
I just think about the Family Guy sketch with John Madden.
football. That was great.
Let's get some sort of crazy money rain. I don't care what kind of rain. It's a perfectly good game of football. Football. It's like, all right, okay. I just think of that all the time.
Right now, Football Manager 2015 is the 8th most popular game on Steam, so apparently more than a few people have heard of it.
Yeah, it's big. It's a big game. I mean, I don't play it because
it's huge over in Europe. I don't know about how big it is in America. In fairness, I know they got the MLS on it now, and you can play MLS if you wanted to, or manage a team in the MLS. But I wouldn't even know where to start with the MLS, to be honest with you, because they've got all stupid rules like draft players and foreign caps and discovery players and Generation Adidas bollocks. I'm like, what? So I can't sign a player for 50 million and put him in my starting lineup. I have to trade him for a third-round draft pick to New Orleans or something. What's that about? No, you got a weird system of sports over there, to be honest with you. In fairness.
Well, salary cap. I
Yeah,
don't think you
salary
have a
caps as
salary
well.
cap. Yeah.
No. We don't have a trade system. We don't have a draft system. We don't have salary caps. Hell, if you win the league, you come top of your league. You don't win the league and then go into a playoff and win a trophy after the playoffs to see who's the actual winner of the league that you should have won that you've won or something. I don't get it. It's weird. Yeah, because apparently, you guys win the league and then you have to have a tournament to see who's won the league. You've already won the league. What's the point in that? What's the point in the rest of the tournament?
Well, you didn't win the
There's no
league.
point.
You won the division. You won the.
Over here.
You won.
Over here.
You won your division. Then you have to have a playoff to decide who wins the conference. And the two conference winners play for the championship. I don't see a problem.
I'm American and I'm
Do you know-
confused by that.
Do you know how it works over here? You play 38 games.
38.
You play 38
Jesus
games.
Christ.
Jesus.
Whoever's got the most points at the end of the season is the winner of the league. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
They're the
That
champions.
actually makes sense though
Whoever's
too,
got
you
the
know.
most
But
points.
get it done on the. Well,
No
I'm not-
playoffs. We don't. Playoffs are
wrong?
random.
yeah, you do.
Goodness.
World Cup.
That
What
doesn't
about
count.
the World Cup? It oh,
that doesn't count.
It's the biggest. Oh, it's the most. Oh, so many people watch it.
I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
that's actually a tournament, not a league.
Oh, well, ours is a tournament.
But
I'm
but
just
it's a
fucking-
club
I'm
thing.
fucking-
we don't know
League.
shit. We're
It's
American.
weird.
I'm
It's
just
crazy.
fucking with
It's
you.
crazy.
I'm just.
It's like when you guys decided to end every match by a penalty shootout from the halfway line or some shit a couple of years ago. That was weird.
We did
It's like,
that.
what? Really?
What sport
Something
is
like that. Instead of actually doing a penalty shootout, you actually had a halfway shootout or something where it's basically like ice hockey but on a football pitch. It was weird.
Ugh.
Yeah, you Americans crazy. You even tried to bring 3-point goals in at one point, and the rest of the world told you to stop being stupid.
It's always 3
Stop
points
being
over here.
Damn
They've always
right.
been field goals have always been 3. Extra points are 1.
Yeah. But
They've always
what
been
you
3.
tried to do, what you tried to introduce is any goal that was scored outside the penalty area would count for 3, and the rest of the world just scratched their head, looked at you, and went like that, basically.
They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it was
it's
weird.
America trying to be America again.
We're America. Everything we do
Yeah.
is right. How dare you? How dare you come
was
to our
about-
country? How dare you come to our country and thumb your nose at our great institutions?
Get a
Ooh.
rocket launcher that shoots eagles at him
Yes. While eating a cheeseburger.
while we're eating a
I think it was
cheeseburger and
drinking a
wheelchair
beer.
at Walmart.
In a
Being
monster
a
I think
truck.
it was about the same time as Diana Ross was missing penalties in your opening ceremonies at the World Cup or whatever it was.
Now, Diana Ross is national treasure. I will not have you bash her. I will
Just as
not.
much as Al Sharpton is.
Al Sharpton is a wonderful human being.
I hope
He
you're being
brings people.
sarcastic.
He brings people together.
Who's
he
Al
brings them
Sharpton?
together in unity.
You don't want to know who Al Sharpton is.
He's a race
I'm
baiting
googling his ass
fucking
right now.
dickhead.
That's the shit.
He is a bag of shit who makes money
Oh,
preying
okay.
on people in their time of need.
I've just looked on Google and it says American Baptist Minister. That's all I need to know, to be honest with you.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
American
Yeah,
bastard.
Okay, so Monkeywool, have you watched any movies?
Back to that.
Well, I've actually got my Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray came through from Amazon yesterday, so I'm going to watch that tomorrow probably. But I've seen that in the cinema. It's a very good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got that through. So me and my partner are going to sit and watch that this weekend probably. I watched Role Models again for about the 50th time this week.
Nice.
movie.
That
I love
film
that
is just
movie.
it just makes me laugh every time I actually watch it, to be honest with you. It's just insane. I also watched again that Jeremy Piven movie that he actually was on Raw hawking one time.
Oh yeah, Selhard. Yeah, it's
The Goods, the Goods.
yeah, the good.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that the other day as well. That's I just love films like that. They're just insane. Anything that's most mental, the better, really. So those kind of things. What other movies did I? Well, we watched Jet Li Hero the other day as well.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
watched that, and we also saw the reboot of The Karate Kid last weekend with Jaden Smith in it.
You do not say that name in my presence.
Jaden Smith causes Muta to Hulk out or whatever.
He is a garbage little bag of shit. He is no talent. The couch he's sitting on has more personality than him. If I see him, I'm gonna kick him in his fucking face. Go ahead.
He's a child, dude. He's a child.
He's like fucking. I don't care. I don't care. I'll beat up a little kid. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit.
You know what movie I actually enjoyed him in was that movie where he was a really little kid. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
I
love that movie. He was too little to know what acting is, so
he's still too little. He ain't learned yet. I'll tell you that much. He still has no fucking clue what acting is. He's like, oh, acting.
He's terrible.
My dad is famous. Why do I need to actually learn how to act and get movies and get paid and all that? Why do I? Huh? What? What do you mean? Huh?
You know, I respect that Will Smith is trying to get his son a future, but I also wish it wasn't Jaden. That After Earth was shit.
Yeah,
that movie.
It didn't seem interesting.
I've only ever seen Jaden in that one film. That was Karate Kid. That was it.
I like Pursuit of Happiness. That was a really interesting movie.
I've actually got the DVD of it somewhere because it was $1 and I just got it on a whim and I haven't watched it.
You got ripped off.
That's a lot.
If there was an old lady standing at the door handing them out for free, you were overcharged.
Just kick her out of the building.
Nothing involving that kid.
For offering.
You're un-American. Get the fuck out of my country.
And what was it? Well, we watched some random kung fu film on Netflix the other day, which had Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it. Basically, it was about this kid who was like obsessed with kung fu, and he got transported to ancient China and had to basically kill some dude. I can't remember what it was called though. It was actually quite a funny film. I think it was, I'm just Googling it now, see if I know what it is. Forbidden Kingdom, I think it was actually.
Oh yeah, that's not that old of a movie. That was pretty good.
Yeah, is that the one where that's it, yeah. Boston teenager Jason was fan of martial arts, yeah. He has a dream with the Monkey King and everything like that.
Where Jackie Chan has some weird dreadlock looking hair.
Yeah, that's the one. And Jet Li's like this monk who basically is actually Monkey King's clone wisp spirit thing. And they have to go and fetch this staff from some evil dude. It was actually quite a laugh. Actually quite a good film. And yeah, this kid basically montages up. Basically, he's rubbish at kung fu even though he watches it, but then they have montages, so he ends up being good because anything's sold by a good montage, in fairness.
The power of montage.
That's basically. Yeah. Oh. You have montage. If you have 3 montages, then you know you're going to be tonk at the end of it. In fairness. Yeah. I could actually do with a montage at work, in fairness. That'd be great. Skip the whole actually working thing for anything. Just do an hours-long montage, and then that's it. Your life's set. It'd be amazing. I'd love it.
I want a montage of me yelling about Jaden Smith.
with the Rocky theme
Yeah.
song playing in the background, or not the theme song, but
Don't give him ideas, because all that happened.
I am the tiger.
I
If
am
you just
the
play-
tiger.
If you're just playing the Rocky theme tune while punching Jaden Smith in the face, that's what he'd be doing.
A speed bag with his.
Put a bullet in my. If I get to do that, just walk up and put a bullet in my head because my life is over because it will never get that good again.
Don't you think
From-
you're overreacting just a little bit?
No.
Just a
That bit-
tad.
That bit where he
No.
runs up the stairs and starts jumping up and down. Every time
Yeah.
Muta jumps, he yells, "I hate Jaden Smith.
I hate him. I hate him. Yeah. I just can't stand
Is
him.
it his little smug face or his dreadlocks that,
It's
that gets
his
you?
no. It's his no. He's good for nothing. He's good for being Will Smith's kid. That's all he's good for. And he's getting put into all this shit. And I have to be reminded that he's a thing every time he decides to do whatever with some little celebutant. I don't give a shit. And I avoid that shit by and large. I stay away from it. But I get reminded, and it's like,
Could be worse. Could be Willow.
I whip my hair back
Willow.
and forth, kid."
Oh,
that one,
it's
yeah.
his sister.
That's his sister. Yeah.
Yep.
I whip my hair back to front. I whip my hair back to front. That one.
oh,
yeah.
okay, this is
Stupid.
the last time he's going to be in one.
That one.
Leave-
That one.
Leave
Yeah.
him alone. He looks just like me for some reason.
Yeah. Why is that? Why you mini me? Why?
I have no idea. Did you guys see in the forum earlier? We had posted pictures of ourselves, and we looked just like each other. It's odd.
You and Monkeywool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was weird. I showed my parents, and they just started laughing like, "What the fuck? He looks just like you."
That was creepy.
Fucking mini me shite.
How old are you? Well, don't
Older-
disclose it in the podcast.
Yeah, put it in the
Oh,
chat.
you all know I'm older than you.
You're not older than me.
I am
No, no,
assuming
wait.
that you by your name, your birth year is in your name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
you're my
Yeah.
you're my mom's
What?
age.
Yeah.
Oh.
I turned 40 next year. I don't make any bones about it.
You're not that old.
I turned 40 next year.
That's not that old.
No. But I mean, okay, when Steve is around, or some of the other younger fellas, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, you little shit. But just kidding. Go ahead.
I think
Yeah,
Adil's
I'm
the
old.
youngest guy.
Yeah, he's
I had Dylan and Joey and his dryer.
Idol sounds like
Joey.
he's 6. So I can't tell there.
I don't know. I think he said he was like 13 or 14.
Yeah, we can ask him later, but anyways, Wool or Muta or whoever was talking, I've lost track at this
Yeah.
point.
it was
Yeah, well-
Wolf.
Hello.
Good podcast so far.
Should we get back on
Yeah.
this? So far, we're like 3 hours in. You planning to make like a 10-hour
Good.
podcast or something?
We're having fun.
Hey, this makes up for the last couple episodes.
Nah,
Yeah. Well,
Ugh.
and TV. I've been catching up on TV as well quite a lot.
Yeah.
Doctor Who. I finally caught up on that. Finally caught up with all the Peter Capaldi stuff on that. I apparently heard that you Americans have to have subtitles for Peter Capaldi on Doctor Who because you don't understand him. What's with that?
I don't pay attention to Doctor.
I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, I never
Well,
watched
ba-
an episode of Doctor Who.
Okay, well the new Doctor Who is Scottish, right?
Yeah.
And
that's-
apparently, because he's Scottish, in America, when it's shown in America, you have to have subtitles because you guys don't understand Scottish people.
Americans love Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I think it's just certain people. I think people that they don't try to listen. They're just like, you better be an American accent or else I'm not gonna listen to you. I can understand, accents pretty good. I mean, maybe it's just some people that are, I don't know.
I grew up with accents. I have no problem with them.
I don't either.
I
Yeah.
never watched Doctor Who.
All right, fair enough. Well, yeah, we've just caught up on that and catching up with Agents of Shield as well. We're keeping up with that as well.
I
We
need to
watched
watch
that on
that.
Friday.
I watched 5 minutes
Yeah.
of that and hated it. So, yeah.
Really?
Thing
They
is,
put it
we're
on Netflix.
with Agents of Shield. We're about 4 weeks behind you guys on our TV, which is a pain in the ass.
You could just find
yeah.
a website to stream it or something.
I could, but I can't be bothered.
You're like,
Yeah.
it's just better
So
on
I just-
TV. I just turn the channel.
Yeah.
I just TiVo it and then when it records and then I'll just watch it when I can be bothered to watch it. Simple
That
as.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I do. And then yeah, so Agents of Shield and my partner now wants to start watching Arrow for some reason. Apparently, she thinks that's good.
I hear that the first season is bad, but the rest of it is supposedly amazing, or something like that.
What about The Flash?
Yeah,
I heard
Arrow-
that was alright.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
Yeah, Arrow and the Flash she wants to watch, so it's like, all right. I
Why
don't know
not?
where she's going to fit all this in with all the games and stuff that we play and various different things and playing WoW and all stuff and going to the cinema and things. I don't know where she's going to fit in, but apparently
You can
she
do
is. I just basically do what I'm told by a woman. In fairness, it's just the best way of doing it sometimes.
Yeah,
No, it
that's how
isn't.
you win.
Flash has
No. Oh,
Happy wife,
fucking
happy
young
life.
Guys.
Flash
young
has
kids. Oh, young kids. Your happiness You define your woman's happiness. That's all I'm gonna say.
I buy
You
my
tell-
girlfriend
you sh-
lots of stuff.
You show her how to be happy, and then you will be happy. That's all I'm gonna say. And yes, I'm single.
Yeah, there we go.
I just got
Nah, we're
I've been with my girlfriend for about 6 years. From high school. I met her in high school.
So anyways, Flash.
yeah.
It
So
has
you're
Clancy
married.
Brown, so it
No,
must
no,
be good.
Let's go back to him being married. You're married. Go ahead.
Nope. I'm good.
Yep. Oh no, you're married.
I'm engaged. Not well, yeah. I'm engaged. But yeah, the Flash it looks good.
It looks good. It looks good. All right, time to in the pocket. Can we go home now?
Dude, hey, we didn't get to you, WSS. You didn't answer your video games or your shows you're
He's not-
watching.
He ain't doing shit.
He's
Hold
like, I'm
on.
excluded since I'm the host.
He wants to go take a nap.
I need my nap time. It happens. I get grumpy. I start kicking people from the call.
Grumpy.
Get out of here. I'm gonna go watch Jaden Smith.
Ah! We can
Muta
end it
just has-
anytime.
He Gus.
So, I watch for video games. I played Assassin's Creed Unity. Really didn't like it. Far Cry 4, having a lot of fun with it. It's got a lot of bad features. Like it's got amazing freedom and do whatever you want to do, and it's amazing graphics. Explosions and flames look amazing. People look like ass, but the world looks great. But it does have its problems. I've noticed it's got that problem where when you die, like in the open world, it'll shove you halfway across the map to wherever the last safe house you're at, which would, given that the safe houses tend to be like there's tons of them, but the world's so big that there's still a long distance between them. So you'll go
Yeah, they're
out
spaced out.
way out in the middle of the nowheres, you'll die, then it'll get shoved all the way back. And what? Now I gotta go all this way again? Seriously?
I feel like that you should be able to fast travel if the world's too big, like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Far Cry
you
Far Cry
can-
4 looks fun though.
You can fast travel between safe houses, but like I said, they're so far, far
Yeah.
between them.
There's no reason, pretty much, because they're so far.
Well, there is because you travel big distances, but
Well,
small
yeah.
distances there's no use.
This is a funny mini story. Sorry, I know you want to go to bed, but how they advertised Far Cry at the video game convention I went to? They had an MMA cage and they had a person dressed up as a ferret, and another person dressed up as a huge wolf, and you could fight. They would make them fight, but you could do it yourself, but you had to sign a waiver. I don't understand what. I guess it was for the arena mode, but you could dress up like a giant fucking ferret and fight.
Oh, that
Or-
reminds me. Yeah, Far Cry 3 had a couple moments of nudity. I think, boobs. Far
Oh,
Cry
yeah.
4 has the main character's dick.
Boobies.
At one point, like, he's naked when he fights in the arena. So if you look down, it's his dick right there because it's first person.
It's flopping around. I'm about to chop it off. Muta's like, this is Jaden Smith.
Ah. Yeah, he is a little penis, isn't he? Ah. Oh.
Oh gosh.
He's like, I need to edit this out.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's like they can embarrass themselves on their own.
I'm fine. I said nothing I don't fucking.
It was a joke. I was just playing.
Yeah, we've only had 2 spots I've had to edit out so far, and both of them were because of lag, not because of anything you guys said.
I was about to say, are we talking about
let's
Benoit
change-
here?
Let's change that.
There's only one word you can say that I'll have to edit that out, and it's because it's YouTube's rules.
What word? What word?
Ask Joey.
Joey?
I've had to-
Jaden Smith.
It should be Jaden Smith. What
Is
word?
it hipster?
Well, I'm not saying it. I'm not making it where I have to edit myself out.
Well, type it in. Somebody type it in.
Type it in the chat, yeah.
Come on, you
Joey's still-
wuss.
Joey's still watching the text. He can answer it. Meanwhile, someone's
Is
trying
it
to talk to me here in
flange?
real life. What?
Is it flange?
I don't know what that means. That's probably a bad sign.
What can't you say on YouTube? Hmm.
He's gonna say something hipster. No
Yeah,
offense,
he
Joey.
is. Of course he is.
I think I know the word, I guess.
I have no clue what the word is. Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
We talking?
Mike said it a few times. I edited it out. I had to edit it out for him, and Joey says it. So I'm an equal rights editor, so I take it out for him
You
too.
can say that word. I've heard that word a million times. You can say that
Yeah.
word.
It's just offensive. You can say that.
You can
Can?
say it. I mean, it's an awful
Yeah, you
word
can-
to
you can
use,
say
but you
it,
can
yeah.
say it.
Hmm.
I've heard it a billion times. There are YouTube videos
Or-
named.
That are entitled with that word.
Yeah, they are.
Alright, whatever.
Like, okay, I'll quote. I listened to a video
It's
earlier.
weird to hear Mike say that. What?
Patrice O'Neal called "Can a Nigga Get a Sandwich?"
13-year-old.
Oh, dude, Patrice O'Neal is funny.
Patrice O'Neal's the man. I miss that guy so much.
Okay.
You
So
can say that. You want to wrap it up, W?
I'll just go through the movies I watched. I watched.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nah, it's fine.
No feels any boundaries.
I watched True Grit, the original John Wayne one. I didn't really like it. It was
Well, you might as well just.
I watched The Fifth Element, which Gary Oldman was good as always, and Chris Tucker's character was kind of funny, but other than that, I didn't like anyone else really. I watched Seven with Brad
Nice.
Pitt and Morgan Freeman. That was a really great movie. And I watched Good Will Hunting, which was also a very good movie.
I love that movie. That was a great movie.
Yeah. Robin Williams put in a good performance, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
everyone says that, and I do agree. But I also thought Matt Damon put in a good performance, and I normally hate him.
He did. He put in. It was a good movie. I mean, even Ben Affleck, they're a good team.
I really like Ben
Matt
Affleck's speech.
Damon.
But what was that?
Whoa.
Matt Damon.
Who's that? No icons are flashing up.
It's full.
All right, this
Alright.
train came off the tracks.
This podcast is this what is the longest podcast?
There's one where the recording reached 4 hours, but like I edited out a solid 30 minutes, and so it came down to 3:30. We're up to 3:45 here now, and I'll only have to edit out like a couple seconds for the lag.
Looks like Mike missed out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking Mike.
He's on all of them except for the longest one.
He's like, you guys need to talk more. We fucking talked this entire time.
Yeah.
I'm glad. We all did good jobs here.
Damon.
It was a good podcast, but
Good
in my
topic.
opinion, best one
It
yet
was.
because I was in it. I'm just
And
playing.
I'm in it.
I'm just playing.
Special guest appearance.
Special guest appearance, Muta.
It'll be another 20 before I'm back.
Oh,
Actually, I'll be around a lot. I got time off.
Yeah, I will be too.
So,
If I'm not busy, I'll be in the podcast because
yeah.
a lot of fun.
There was one last thing I watched. It was a TV show. I normally don't watch very much anime at all. I think most of it is pretty stupid. I play the Dragon Ball and Naruto video games because they tend to cut the bullshit. But there was this one anime I always kept hearing people talk about it like it's supposed to be great. Attack on Titan. And yeah, found it on Netflix, watched it, and it's actually pretty good.
Is it in English or is it
Japanese.
subtitled? Ah, okay.
I think it'd probably be better that way. I can't imagine that. Yeah, I don't remember liking the dubs too much.
I really hate badly dubbed things.
Yeah.
Dubbed things just annoy me. They just wind me up. They really do. There's one of the very rare things that actually wind me up is dubs. I don't get wound up about anything except for things like dubs. What else did I get?
People call me
You say I don't like. I hate dubs. Fucking dubs. Piece of shit dubs.
I've got like
right there, dude.
Indeed, yeah, indeed. Yeah, so, yeah.
Some aren't bad. The Dragon Ball Z dubs were good.
Are the dubs your Jaden Smith wool?
No, I've got very few buttons in fairness. But yeah, badly dubbed things are one of the things that do frustrate me. I'm quite laid back. I don't really get annoyed with things.
Yeah.
People think I do get annoyed with things, but they're just morons who do. Like that Chris 2 billion, or whatever his name was, he always thought I get annoyed with him. I was just like, no, I don't get annoyed with you, bro. I just laugh at you. It's funny.
You didn't get annoyed with him. You're miles ahead of us.
No, I just toyed with him. It was funny. It was hilarious. He's just mental. Yeah, and he was actually apparently he said he was English, and that's very shameful for
That's
me.
very shameful.
Yeah.
Just the entire country needs to be condemned now that he's from there.
Yeah, indeed.
Damn right.
What was the so something was winding me up earlier. And my partner just basically in the car. She has very big delight in actually reminding me about it all the time, and I can't remember what it was now. I'll think on that. I'll have to put a forum post on that because she laughs at. I get wound up. I'll put a forum post on things that wind me up. Actually, no, that wouldn't be a very good idea because then you'd all just use it. So I'm not going to do it. Whatever.
Well, if they like you,
Yeah.
they won't. Like, they have avoided posting spiders since I have said I hate spiders. But anyways, about time to wrap this one up. If it goes any longer, it's going to take 4 days for it to upload to YouTube. So, Wool, you want to do the outro?
What?
You want to do the outro, man? You did the intro.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been emotional. I'm off to bed. Laters.
All right. I
Perfect.
guess that's how we're ending.
Nice, folks.
Oh.
It's
Till
been
next
emotional.
time.